Listen to the Healing Guides podcast with Hannah or Marian on YouTube now, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Podcast. So this is an episode that I think would be a powerful episode for me, and I hope that it serves as wisdom for you. Please ignore the noise. I'm walking right now. So basically, if you've been following my podcast, then you know that I'm someone that tells you that I have a unique life, I guess, where demonic spirits persecute me, which means they follow me, they monitor me, they sabotage, they accuse me, they harass, they try to do crime, they do commit crime. They have many intentions. It wouldn't really be one reason they want. Technically, they're coming through the bloodline, so it's like bloodline curses, but there's other reasons they also follow me, so it's very diverse. Okay, so I already made an episode about, gangstalking, the goal and meaning of it, some new power that God gave the devil, which is witchcraft, as well as curses they use to actually stalk someone, using hundreds of possessed human beings. They make sure to always push you in environments where such humans are there. Obviously, not everyone is going to do these horrible things I see these humans doing. You know, they're actually evil humans, is what I'm saying. Just, usually they behave in society. You may not necessarily think it's them. Usually they're very ugly physically. I'm not joking. Okay. They just look evil, you know, if you were to be that person that, I don't know, it's hard. Anyways, it's hard to describe what they look like. But anyways, I said that this is a spirit of poverty, and that in order to literally make you poor, in order to prevent you from having this great life, this great destiny God gave this person, they're gangstalking, such as me, because the family God put me in, keyword God put me in, versus I was actually born to, I'm not born to those filthy weirdos. God put me there to break their curse. Because from generation to generation, they're all perverted and evil and narcissistic, psychopathic. You get me? But it's the covert one. The ones who never go to prison or jail. It just continues into the family. You get me? They harm each other. And then those they harm become evil too. Is that logical? No. Every generation there should be good and bad humans coming out of a family. Do you agree? Because everyone has free will to choose who they want to be. If we use the power of probability, there should always be, the probability that some will be good. So since it's so strange, they always become evil. This is what God does. He puts someone in their family who's moral, who can never be possessed and become evil. I mean, it's possible some of them become evil and get possessed, and God was actually trying to use them to break the curse. You get me? But usually he puts someone in there that will not become evil in terms of what they choose to be. You know, God intended you to break that curse. So I'm not actually someone that's a victim to gangstalking. God just intentionally wants me to experience what it looks like to people who are gangstalked. And so he put me in such a family. You get me? And he put me through other situations, such as the persecution that prophets and messengers, which are the men that brought, the scriptures with them, like the Bible, Torah, Psalms, Quran, etc. So very important, powerful men, not regular human males, but very divine men. God obviously made them pure. Okay, so the persecution they went through, I also have another power that demons have, another witchcraft, where they can also persecute me like a prophet. You get me? So I'm going through multiple types of persecutions. So therefore, I'm learning different things. You agree? How they basically abuse prophets, and how they obviously continue to have control over these types of families who, are narcissistic, psychopathic. They're usually the ones who rape and molest their own children. But the kids grow up, never tell you, and it just continues. You get me? Like that. They're that creepy coworker at your job. It's that kind of family. They're all the same. Go observe that creepy coworker, that creepy classmate, that weird customer who tried to touch you pervertedly. Just go and see their family. They're all perverted too. You get me? It's like a strange type of part of the human race. They are therefore agents for the devil. They're all possessed in a high level way, because a lot of humans are possessed due to sin, right? But they're not necessarily evil. Okay, so the ones we would say are really evil, right? They can harm others, who enjoy doing evil, right? They're very filthy and perverted. Those are the ones who become like stalkers for the devil. They're just possessed. They just roam around, drive around, just bother random people like that. They just do evil every day. They're the ones right now who are possessed. Oh my God, I'm about to die. Oh, I just want to record it though. Oh, since it's Ramadan, I'm fasting and I'm walking, so anyways, I'm used to walking now, but God, I feel sick. Okay, so bear with me. So what was I talking about? So anyways, the humans today that are coming out due to COVID, all these weird humans, right, who came out a little bit before COVID, that, for example, they call a Karen, right? They approach you, they harass you, and then when you stand up for yourself, they accuse you. Okay, I had to deal with such a demonic spirit, because it's a demon. Because it's actually a demon, and it's just possessing those types of weird humans. So that's why they don't leave you alone. When you argue with a human, they obviously shut up, right? So that's why these humans, they call a Karen, they just act right inhuman. They act like a kid mixed with an insane human, mixed with a psychopath, right? It's just so many weird qualities all mixed together. And you're going to lose your mind if you waste your energy even talking to them, because they're not going to act like a human. You get me? A human could be bad, but they're still going to act like a human in some way, right? They might just be like, whatever, and they'll leave you alone, right? If you say, I'm going to call the cops, they might leave, right? Okay, but these ones want you to call the cops because they're demonic spirits. They already have power over the cops you're going to call. They did some witchcraft that day to the whole city. They are happy for you to call the cop, because they're going to work together and get you arrested, which is why people are so scared and they record, okay? This is all spiritual, therefore. All this stuff that you would say today, you don't understand. What's wrong with our world? Anytime you feel like those thoughts coming to your mind, whoever's making you feel that way, right? Whichever humans you saw, online or offline, those are demonic spirits. You get me? Because they're not like a human. They're not acting like a human, because they're not even a human. They're manifesting, which means the demon came out of them. The demon is the one talking. The demon is the one behaving. The human is like sort of gone. They're like dead, And there are times that they're obviously consciously working with the demon. But it's usually the demon taking full control. Okay, mentally ill people are also demons. There's no such thing as mental illness. So all these problems in society, God was putting me through a lot of powers that demons God gave over my life, right? Witchcraft, where they basically can identify me. It doesn't matter where I go. They can find me and use bad humans to bother me, right? That's not logical. How do they know, right? How do they know it's me? Because there's a way. They use spiritual powers like witchcraft, magic, etc. Okay, so all types of crazy lunatics. The Karens, which is really humans who used to come to my job, especially 2016. They come up to me, they say something perverted, sexist, evil. They want me to say something. If I say something, they'll report me. Just lie. Just trying to get me fired. And that's what they usually do. They usually come to your job, So the things I used to experience, and I was like, what the hell's going on? Now, those types of demons, right, who bothered me like that are bothering everyone else. They're just not going to bother you at the level they bother me, which is 24/7. You're just going to see a Karen type of quality one time. You're going to see a mentally ill human go crazy every now and then and bother you like that. You're going to see some shooting happen at a subway every now. You get me? Your life is not going to be followed by such humans every 24/7 everywhere you go, correct? You're going to see some normal humans, and some of them who are evil, they're just going to behave. For me, it's 24/7 harassment. 24/7 they misbehave. 24/7 they want a reaction. 24/7, you know, they're looking for my reaction. 24/7 they're following me. 24/7 they're making noise around me. 24/7 there's goodness. Ignore the noise behind me, please. 24/7, right? It's the same behaviors, and they get more criminal the more I ignore them. Because they want a reaction, they want something. So then they can accuse me of being their qualities, mentally ill. Usually they use homeless. Usually the homeless are homeless because of drug addiction and crime, and not necessarily because of poverty. So they like to, there you go, come to my job to cause me such problems. Just accuse me of the qualities of such filthy humans who are possessed. Okay, all these types of humans are possessed, right? The homeless, the mentally ill, the drug addicts, the perverts, the narcissists, the psychopaths. They're all possessed. They're just bad humans. Okay, there's always that one person who's poor because they're actually poor. That one person who's dumb as hell and tried drugs, but they're not. You get me? Like, we always have that one, right? Question mark, obviously. Okay, and these human beings who are mentally ill became that way because it just means the demons possessing them are controlling them too much, and they make them act like insane humans to some degree, you know? Whatever you call crazy. But it's just a demon. So I learned a lot, basically. God teaching me how the devil corrupted religion, etc. So I'm going through a lot of different types of persecution, not just gang stalking. Okay, so for that reason, I made episodes, right, where I explain what gang stalking is. This is just the gang stalking, okay? Not the other types of demons that follow me. They have different jobs. God makes them follow me for other reasons. But these ones, at least, you know, of gang stalking, they come from the bloodline. It means evil human beings in your bloodline committed very big sin, like raping someone. Basically, anything you would say comes from perversion. It's usually perversion. They committed some horrible crime in the category of perversion, okay? As well as other sins that are perverted, but not the predatory one. You're not harming anyone. But the other type of perversion where you fornicate, you know, you have sex outside of marriage, because that's sinful. You know, you fool around or you do one time, doesn't matter. It's still a sin. Does that make you a bad person necessarily? No, but you get the point. It's a sin. Therefore, the demon follows that type of. So instead of just, right, you would say that human, right, they did what they did, is their business. Instead, demons start following their family, you know? Demons start having control over their children. You get me? It's still your choice, right? They can't possess you or anything. God is not unjust like that. Who you are is what determines how much power they have over you. I'm just saying, they're still going to bother you because your evil ancestors did big sins. Like, you know, the predatory perversions of raping, molesting, harming others in a perverted way. Because perversion is the highest evil God created, or the highest sin. It's not murder, okay? So anytime someone becomes perverted, very harmful jinn enter that life of that human and their family. They just terrorize everyone. They try to continue therefore the cycle or the sin of that human. And then other types of high-level crimes in God's eyes, such as doing witchcraft to others, right? Because you're using dark powers to ruin people's lives. That's very evil. Like that, very big sins like that. Destroying people's lives, doing witchcraft that someone dies and they just get murdered tomorrow, like that. Very evil power because they're able to use it to cause very high crime. You get me? So that's why witchcraft is a big sin. You know, things like fortune telling, voodoo, astrology, twin flames, spiritual awakening, all that is demonic. Don't go there, okay? So the only spirituality that's normal is the one with God, Almighty. That's it. You just worshiping God and talking to Him and trying to figure out who He is and His religion. That's it. Any other spirituality, you're going to the demonic side, okay? So it means this family got put me in. Their ancestors, including the ones right now who are alive, committed very big sins. First, in the area of perversion. I don't know what the hell they did, but I know some, okay? So, therefore, ancient demons, ancient, right? Way before I was born, ancient, are following me. So, since they cannot make me evil, right? They can't make me evil. whether evil is perverted, murder, whatever. They cannot make me into a bad person. They cannot possess me. Do you know what they're there for doing? They're trying to ruin my life. Okay, so, and they're trying to accuse me of the qualities of that family. Perverted, they just can't do this one, okay? This one is very difficult, basically impossible. They just project it to me like their thoughts. You know, they just project thoughts to me. You get me? Like, for example, they possess children and they bring them around me. Like, you're some weirdo, who lured the kid or something, you know? So if you see that, right? If you see that sometimes there's this evil thoughts and energy coming over you when children are coming towards you, because children are not going to come towards you, okay? They're children for a reason. They don't do this, okay? Sometimes parents teach them, yeah, but then at least the parents right next to them, they're crazy. But, right, kids don't just walk up to that. They're possessed, okay? Those kids are possessed as hell. That's how demons get them raped and molested. They put them in danger. They possess them and make them go to strangers, okay? So the parents are supposed to teach them, obviously. And the child still has free will. Don't think because they're kids that God somehow didn't give them their right, you know, to know something's good or bad. No, they can tell. They have something called their conscience. They just naturally, right? They can tell there's some danger over there. They can tell, okay? I know they're tiny, but they still can tell. They can still protect themselves. So God didn't really, you know, take something from them that we would say they need in order to survive. They have it, okay? But there's some evil in the kid. The kid themselves has evil in them, okay? They sort of see someone getting hurt or whatever, they might enjoy it. You know, kids can become evil, obviously, very young. So don't be like, what the hell did God do? Don't go after God, okay? Don't speak in that unhealthy way. Kids are mature in terms of this sort of quality of at least knowing evil from good, okay? And they have that. We're all created with that quality. You know, even a baby will cry if you say something bad to them, right? You're ugly. He's just gonna cry, or she's just gonna cry. What is that? See? It wasn't even something harmful, right? It was just verbal versus physical harm. And still they can tell and they cry. See? So they have a conscience, okay? If they see their parents fighting, they're gonna cry. If they see someone getting killed, they're gonna cry. They know, okay? They just don't understand too much of the detail. Okay, so they possess the kids who are evil, obviously, okay? But again, right, they can get possessed through sin and other things that we would say are not evil. Just maybe you sin through temptation, etc. Not evil conduct. Okay, but those humans then they have obviously the free will to allow the demon to use them or not. It's always their choice. It's just going to try to use you. And those who are evil, right, they love evil. Their demon is going to get their agreement to actually abuse others, no matter what their age is. Okay. Which explains then, right? Very small little kids. Everyone thinks they're innocent. Murdering others, molesting others. Sometimes you hear kids raping kids. Like, what? Right? Those are demons, okay? They just got the kid's agreement. So the kid is guilty. Goodness. You're not going to do something you don't agree with. They can only make you act crazy or weird. Like, for example, they might possess you. And they might make you just run around. Okay, that's not going to require whether you're moral or not. Because that's just the consequence of something taking over you. But anything that would fall under morality or immorality, right? Evil versus good. The demon first has to take the human's permission. Otherwise, God will be unjust. Okay, so anyways. These demons who follow me because of the family, right? They don't follow me because I'm weak or anything. God is just using me to break the curse. You know, he put other human beings in that situation too, where they come from very similar families. I want you to know your job is to break their curse. You get me? You're supposed to pray in order to be free. That's how you break it. There's certain types of prayers you do. The Bible is really good at teaching you. It's just that they call on Jesus. That's the problem. God is just one. Jesus was a prophet. So, but you know, the other way you break it is by being the opposite of what the demon is calling you to also become, which is the qualities of the family. You become opposite of that. That's the other way you break it. Okay, so these demons, the more I observe them, right? The more I learn that they're actually just a perversion spirit rather than a poverty spirit. They just try to take all my finances away from me, right? They come to all my jobs. They harass me. They act like a Karen. If I try to describe how they've harassed me all these years, you're going to be like, I don't really get it. Okay, but now right? If I tried to explain that to you when I was younger, you'd probably be like, this is so unique to me. But now, ever since 2019, which is actually the year gangstalking started for me, prior to that, it was like a lower level, but higher level started where they were trying to put me in jail, but trying to accuse me of random crime, okay? So when things we would say were more lower level persecution or harassment, they were just usually coming after my jobs, my schools. It wasn't really extreme, dangerous behavior, So before 2019, when these humans who are called Karens came out, I already saw what that looks like. You get me? Because those demonic spirits came to my jobs and harassed me every day, calling every manager, every team lead, lying about me, blah, blah, blah. And it repeats and repeats and repeats. Anyone can figure out I'm being bullied, Just random strangers coming up to me. They say something to me. You get me? No one said anything to them. And usually customers harass you and walk away, right? They just like to harass you. If you don't say anything, they just leave you alone. They just cuss you out, right? These ones, if I don't respond, then they increase the harassment. You get me? They get worse. They actually will not leave me alone. So it's not something that wants to say horrible things to you and just leave, right? It wants to accuse you of being the one who harassed them. Bad employee, bad student, bad sibling, bad child, bad human. You guys are just trying to accuse me of being evil that way, by trying to accuse bad, etc. Okay, so, but what type of humans were they using? They were using very perverted human beings to harass me. So the first quality of these demons, the humans they're possessing, these humans are highly perverted. So that evil family God put me in is also in that same category. Their first quality is perverted. It doesn't seem that way as much. It seems like there are other qualities first. Therefore, it's really that creepy uncle, that creepy brother, that creepy sister, but everyone might think they're just a normal person. You get me? Because they pick who they express that perversion to. And usually they're known to be called chameleons, because they hide so well. Sometimes people think they're nice or charming, nice person, because they're just so loud, always trying to be fake friendly with people in order to hide that, And they usually come to you when you're way too younger than them, and they try to act like a big brother, a big sister. And I see them trying to act like that to others, right? This creepy, perverted male or female is possessed to harass me or at my job. And then they see me getting along with a coworker or someone else. Then they target that person. They're already in that person's life. They're already trying to, enter their life, act like a big brother, big sister to them. And then they hope to split me from that good human I met, etc. Because they also want to isolate me. They also want to make sure you don't get married. You don't have friends. You don't have a community. You don't have a social circle. They just have so many intentions. You start to think, what the hell is the point? What do they want? So really, what they want is to touch your body. It's a perverted spirit. Now the gangstalking has reached a level where God gave them more witchcraft or power ever since, I'd say, 2019. Things got worse, I would say, 2008, then 2015, then 2016. Every year it's getting worse. And then 2019 exploded. They started to have power to actually follow me with cops. And there you go. Like, demonic spirits created COVID to then create that as an excuse to isolate everyone else. And every perverted, nasty, crazy, typical Karen, crazy lunatic human is the only one outside in society. And since they're usually, right, very lowly human beings, right? They're not healthy, intelligent, moral people. They're very lowly human beings. So because they're very lowly, they're poor. You get me? They're that human in the society that's just poor because they're lowly. And they come from that family that are always going to have that spirit of poverty, spirit of perversion. Okay, so it's just that poor type of community in the United States, And even though, right, there's opportunity, they don't care to ever move up in life. That's the other thing about them. They're just going to be that bus driver forever. They're going to be having kids when they're too young, and they're just the weirdos who settle, okay? Not the intelligent, healthy people. Obviously, people can have big careers, right? And be evil too. I just mean these ones specifically, Were the most extreme. Those ones usually control their evil, right? In order to have such financial success, like big corporate jobs. You get me? But the ones they really use and could care less if they commit a crime against me are humans who already are just so lowly. They're like the bottom of society, you know? Um, but then the ones who are like working with me at a corporate job, right? They have maybe decent education, etc. Okay, they're gonna be more covert. They're gonna be the HR that tries to get me fired when I reported assault, like that. Like that, you get me, bullying. When I reported something, they're gonna want to protect their image, but still go after your character and accuse you to protect the evil human in that company. Even though they don't know them, they could care less about them. It's because their demons feel the need to protect you. They like to protect each other, okay? Um, the demons convince them that this person who's moral is a threat to you, so kick them out of the company. Because they're gonna expose you too. You're evil as hell too. Like that, they make them scared. Since I'm moral, that I'm gonna obviously be a threat to their evil that they hide, right? Something will just happen and one day, right, I might expose them too, right? Or their demons might come out of them, have used them to harass you, and then now you report them to, you get me, they're scared. Oh my god, I'm really angry. I recorded like maybe 7 more minutes of this episode and I lost it. Like the recording got cut off. That's definitely demonic retaliation. I didn't do anything to my phone. But as that was happening is because I was trying to enter this building, because I was walking, right? I was trying to enter this building, and all these obviously very perverted human beings kept coming out of it, trying to always, walk really close to me, lean close to me. They don't care, okay? They don't care if I'm standing at a good spot and they're supposed to walk straight out of the building. They'll just walk right very close to you. You're gonna have to keep moving all the time, like you're some, jumping, what is it? What's that animal that jumps a lot? That's some rabbit or something. You're gonna constantly move, because they don't care to get very close to your personal space. They're not scared of anyone here, because they're all the same. It's not like when I was younger where these humans were possessed, but they had more consciousness, they had more fear, right? That obviously I would catch what they're doing, but now they don't care. These demons have just become so extreme. They don't care to commit crime and get in your space, and they just don't care because they're risking it all. They're risking that human going to jail or whatever, just hoping that you react and beat them up and go to jail yourself. They just want to put you in the environments that the evil family, right, that you came from, what qualities they have. They just maybe not in prison for it, right? Maybe their crimes are not exposed, or the abuse they did to each other or to you, but right, they're criminals like that. So mad. I don't know what I recorded. It was such excellent ending that I did. I'm just gonna record a little bit and stop. So basically, the point I'm trying to make is, you, right, a lot of you are being gang stalked. A lot of you are going through bloodline curses, which causes gang stalking. It's just that you may not notice it because you actually might, right, actually fall into the covertness, right? Someone walking by you, someone just going everywhere you go. Every day you go out, maybe there's humans around you. One way to know you're being gang stalked is when you go out, it's rarely empty. As long as you know that, as long as you step out of your home, there's always a lot of people out there, right? There's always supposed to be days that things are quiet, right? As long as you know there's just too many human beings outside, then you're being gang stalked, okay? Because there's always supposed to be emptiness in every area that's public. But it may not necessarily manifest right now. They may not gang stalk you right now because a lot of you, sadly, are that human that, right, God put you in these families to break the curse because you're the one that's decent enough to do so, right? You could be evil or you could be good, but you're decent enough to choose the moral side more. So, God wants you to break this curse. So that for that reason, you sort of resist the evil that family did to you. You tried to fight for yourself a lot. You didn't let them do what they want. And then you resist the evil humans, right? Strangers and their family, when they try to corrupt you, they try to turn you perverted. They try to get you to do certain things. Maybe you fell into some of those traps of the devil. You did it, right? You do drugs, you do alcohol. You, as a kid, drink, alcohol when you were just a kid because maybe you were molested, etc. You fell into some of their traps, maybe, right? A lot of you did. And I know a lot of people who did, who just think they're possessed and they're just immoral and that's about it, when it's actually you're similar to me. You're going through the same type of persecution. It's just that for you, it's not because you're moral technically. It's just because it's possible you take the moral side. Demons know that's possible. They know you're not like that family who just enjoys being evil, and it was so easy to ask them to be evil, and they're like, sure, to the devil. for you, right, there's that morality in you to some percentage, and they're so scared of that taking over and you become a good person, because then you're going to break the curse. There's two ways to break the curse, and that's prayer. You pray to God. It could take months and years. You're going to have to be patient. These are very strong witchcrafts, or curses as well. And then two, you're going to be a moral human. That's the other way you break the curse. Because, like the spiritual part of the curse, right? The actual powers they have, the witchcraft, the curse. You break it by actually asking God to get these demons and curses out of you. You get me? Okay, that's through prayer. The other way you break it is by being the opposite of what the curse is intending. What does it want, right? The curse entered your bloodline, right? Those way generations past the generation you were born into. The demons came to those humans, right? Slowly over time, taught one, two, three, just one of them by one. They taught them to sin. They taught them to do small sin. Then they taught them to become evil. You get me? Just like the way you already know demons come to humans and try to corrupt them. But for you, right, this family that you came from, it means that evil family's way ahead, way past before, right, the generation you were born into. It means they committed big sins usually. Like they raped someone, they molested someone, they killed someone, they did witchcraft to each other, they literally raped and molested each other. You get me? Or one of their own siblings or children. You get me? Very high level evil behavior. Usually perversion, okay? So then when you're born, generations later, your father is perverted as hell, even though he got married and wants to act like a normal male who likes females. He's, homosexual covertly, which is just self-rape, just so you know. They're just raping each other. They're just consenting to it. You know what homosexuals are? They're basically the human beings. I want you to visualize it, okay? I want you to visualize this older or old male raping it or molesting a child. Okay, what would you say? That's rape, right? That's harm, right? You would say one is a victim, and some kids allow it to happen, but you get what I'm saying. You get me? Like they no matter how many years they do it to them, they still keep coming back and allowing it to happen. You get me? They're not a perfect victim, so but they're still a victim. Okay, so we would say what? The child was a victim, right? And the adult was the predator. Okay, so just visualize if the child was the same age as that creepy old, right? Whether that creepy old is their father, their brother, whatever, uncle, their father's male friends, teacher, etc. Okay. When that happened, right? For example, imagine instead of that victim being a kid, what if the victim grew up, right? And when the victim became an adult, they go back to that abuser and consensually agree to do whatever that same gender wanted from them. What were they doing to them when they raped or molested the kid? Homosexual behavior. When they're raping them, they're basically doing what homosexuals do, okay? I'm going to be a bit graphic. They attack them in their anal, correct? They say to them to use their mouth to the predator's private parts, right? They tell the kid to do that. That's homosexual conduct. You see what I'm saying? So rape and molestation by the same gender, right? The male raping little boys, etc., is actually homosexual conduct. So it's rape, okay? Homosexuality is just rape. But that human, right, was, you get me, forced into the situation. Okay, so the adult human beings every day walking around this earth telling you they're LGBT are literally those kids. Get it? They're victims. It's just them who grew up and actually agreed to go back to the abusers, whether the abuser is a new human who's, perverted, or the same abuser years ago, and now they consensually agree to do that filthy stuff with them, using their mouth and using their anal. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so it is homosexual conduct. Rape is homosexuality. You get me? Homosexuality, those humans who tell you they're homosexuals are raping each other. The only difference is they're both consenting to the rape. So it's not some sort of evil thing over there, but it's not rape. No, it is something evil over there that is rape. So what type of rape is it? A consensual one. They're consenting to it. You get me? One is not saying they were attacked. This thing is actually okay with it, right? They go there with them. They go into a room with them. So this is how homosexuality developed. The devil just raped the same gender. Do you get me? Obviously, it's not something females could do. It's the male who could do it. So the males were used to rape little boys, usually their own sons. For that reason, those sons grow up. They either go to that same father or a perverted bastard like him, and now they agree to do the same stuff their father harmed them with. They do that consensually this time. So why would you call it a different name? If it's the same thing he did to them when he was a child, he raped him by telling him to do that stuff to him. If now the kid grew up and is doing it consensually, if we call that stuff that happened to him as a kid rape, then we have to call homosexuality rape. You get me? You just think rape means some sort of attack on a human only. No, the conduct. When the human is agreeing to have that same conduct done to them, then it's self-rape. You see what I'm saying? So of course, you're not gonna necessarily call it that type of rape, right? The way attack. No, it's rape, but it's one where they're doing it to themselves, right? Because they're harming themselves and they're harming each other, correct? Because they're both doing it to each other. One is not technically just doing it to the other, right? They're both doing it to each other, right? Okay, so they're both raping each other. That's all homosexuality is. Pedophiles, therefore, is then that initial stage of predatory, the rape. It's a creepy old male going after little boys or little girls. He just gives himself a different name. He calls himself a pedophile. No, he's just a rapist. Okay, he's just a pervert. He's just doing rape or molestation. Therefore, you're just the predator version of a pervert. Because there are perverts who don't attack humans, but they're still perverted, right? So there's many types of perversion. You get me? So just as there's the age perversion, a creepy old adult going after someone way too young, or teenagers, or right? And those actual teenagers or someone 5 years and more younger than them consenting to be with them, right? And they call it a relationship. That's also perversion. You get me? But are we going to call it predatory in the sense that one was attacked? No, right? Because this one agreed to it. So perversion is one where they attack others and one where there's no victim and they attack each other. They agree to the attack. So it's the highest evil in the human race. You get me? Probably not going to find a human who agrees to be murdered. You agree? But they agreed to perversion. They agreed to be harmed by something worse than murder. So these are very highly psychologically twisted human beings then. So there's no such thing as a pedophile. That part of the LGBT is just really, right, the male predator going after little boys and girls. The homosexual adults, right, who are the same age group, whether they're both teenagers or both adults, it's just, right, that's self-rape. They're raping each other, but they're both agreeing to the rape. No one is a victim in that sense. So their conduct is still rape. You get me? It's just it's a rape that was agreed to. So there's more disturbing. Do you see what I mean? And then the other types of perversions, right? Opposite genders, but maybe blood, their family. They call it incest. You get me? It's just rape again. There you go. But they're consenting to it. You see what's going on? Is the same predator who raped their own siblings when they were kids and they were an adult. That little kid, sibling that was raped or molested, if they grew up and went back to the abuser and consensually agreed this time to have that same act done to them, are you going to call it something else? No, you're going to call it rape, right? Because the conduct was rape. Do you care if this one agreed to it or not? No, the conduct is still harm, is still perversion, that's predatory, is still rape or molestation. So that's what incest is. It's just rape. It's just molestation. But the other one agreed to it. They're doing it to each other. So perverts are just rapists who are harming each other. They're raping each other when they're going into LGBT and that nonsense. You get me? They're both perverted. So they're both going to consent to being harmed or touched by this spirit of perversion. While there's human beings who are not perverted, and rapists and murderers actually try to go after them. You get me? We're no longer dealing with that. When we're dealing with human beings who are saying this is how they feel, or okay, now we're dealing with two perverts versus one is not a pervert, the other one is, therefore one is going to attack the other. Now we're dealing with two perverts, those filthy perverted males who harm children every day. If there was two of them and they went into a room, you know they're going to do things to each other. Do you agree? They're going to touch each other. Okay, that's what LGBT is. That's literally what homosexuality is. It's just two perverted humans of the same gender touching each other. The same way they harm victims. You get me? They actually rape and molest other human beings. Okay, but they're attacking those humans, right? Etc. That human didn't say okay to being harmed. Goodness. That harm they do to victims, That's exactly what they're doing to each other when they're homosexuals, when they're doing what you call incest. Okay, therefore, it's rape. It's molestation, get it? The only difference is this one actually agreed to it. We don't care if you agree. It's still the same conduct. So therefore, it's higher evil, you know? It's higher evil when they're attacking innocent victims. And when they're doing it to each other, we would put that lower because no one's a victim. Okay, so there's a lot of these perverted humans in the human race. There's just so many of them. Due to these demonic spirits, again, they choose to be this way, but who, made sure to be in their bloodlines, their families, and continue the cycle. Right? They make everyone the same. Again, they could have still become perverted even if demons were not there, right? Because they still learn what evil looks like and choose it either way. I'm just saying, you get me? There's obviously demons making sure you get me? They just make sure this really is a success. And you'll just see human beings, you think they're just human. You think they're just nice people. Okay, but leave your kids with them, right? Sit next to your coworker for a while. See them invading your personal space. See this employee you were talking to all of a sudden get in your face. See someone you were trying to hand something to just trying to grab your hand. Perversion will come out of them at some point. You get me? Just observe the typical human. Those good people, those normal people are very rare, okay? They just conduct themselves, okay? They're not going to touch every customer, correct? They're just going to touch one or two customers. Okay, they'll lose their job. They'll go somewhere else maybe because they got reported. Okay. Now this new company doesn't know they're perverted. You get me? So it's like nothing is on their face, right? There's no red mark that tells you danger. So for you, you think it's a rare group. No, it's a majority group. So I just want you to know that you are definitely being gang-stalked. As long as you have these types of families that have these qualities. They all have diseases, addictions, they're perverted, they're narcissistic, they're psychopathic, they're controlling, they try to act dominant over you, they abused you as a kid, they abused each other, they're covert, they protect it. Society thinks they're this nice person because they hide it so well, using, right, manipulative and it's psychopathic. It just means because a human can't hide that well, right? Human is a weak creation, right? If you're human, you're weak, right? You can't do everything. What's helping them hide it is magic, witchcraft, curses, demons. They're using dark stuff, okay? They're not really using their own power. So you came from such crazy families like that, right? They try to control you. They try to touch you. If you ever resisted, if you ever, right, tried to get away, the whole family ganged up on you. No one stood up for you. You probably tried to run away. You came back to their home because they used homelessness and that fear against you to bring you back. Right? No offense, but you're weaker than the humans who, right, obviously do become homeless. And obviously that doesn't matter. Their honor, their body, obviously, you would agree with me, it's important. Right? They run for their life. A lot of them go to shelters and governments and, right, they just do their thing. They survive, Some actually are so evil to themselves, right? Keyword to themselves. Because, right, they're doing it and no one's dragging them. And they go back to these families. And sometimes someone else in that family who didn't do evil to them could try to make them think they'll protect you. They got you back, come back, Like that. That really creepy, evil, narcissistic mother who's a witch. Which means they do a lot of magic and witchcraft. Usually uses her kids to do evil, not necessarily herself. She won't necessarily hit you as a kid or anything like that. So you don't know if she's right, your enemy, because she's never going to lay a hand on you. But your siblings will. And you think that your siblings are the problem, or just your dad was the problem, or maybe your dad was the one that acted like he got your back and the mother beat you, etc. They're actually working together, okay? That's what it means to be psychopathic. They're psychologically twisted. They're evil, but they're going to work together to make you think some of them are on your side. The same way, right? Perverted human beings who are strangers to you enter your life and act like they're on your side. Big brother, big sister, they're going to act like that. So yeah, a lot of you are being gang-stalked, right? You have addictions, you fell into things like drugs, alcohol. Usually, because your life was attacked. You tried to be different than that family. Usually they have poverty, right? And you wanted to go to school, get an education. You wanted to be different, right? Basically, you're decent. You can be moral or you can be corrupted. You can sort of develop some of their qualities. But you're not really this human that wants to become like that. You don't want to become a rapist or a murderer. You get me? You have some decency, and the demon is trying to milk that out of you. It's trying to get that out of you. So they slowly drag you first through other evil things. Drugs, alcohol. I'm sure as a kid you drink alcohol because maybe you were molested, Trauma came back, or you try to... I see a lot of humans who usually run away but then come back to the evil family, and then they still live with them until their 20s. They struggle with good jobs, right? You don't really get you have jobs, right? But the jobs weren't what you would say healthy jobs that promoted you. Usually similar narcissistic humans who retaliate against anyone who's authentic or does the right thing. It's not really healthy and professional. It's restrictive and controlled, and you don't act submissive to customers or evil, creepy management humans. There's that dominance going on, obey us, be submissive to us, or we're gonna fire you. Right? You somehow ended up in companies like that, which is a lot. And that doesn't mean they bother everyone, right? It's just that you somehow might have gotten bothered. But here's the thing. You probably didn't get bothered until you started to go against that. Even just subconsciously, you didn't like what your coworkers were doing to others. But they're not going to bother you at the beginning. At the beginning, right, they're actually going to act fake friendly with you, right? Those human beings want you to join them. They want you to, right? They don't necessarily expect you to do evil with them because they know that a little bit of decency is there. But they at least want you to just allow them to do it, They want to corrupt you slowly. They want you to watch what evil looks like and just be there. Just be there. They're bullying coworkers. They're lying. They're harassing. They're firing everyone they're intimidated by. That type of horrible corporate job or other jobs. And if you observe those coworkers you had who are like that, who tried to act fake friendly with you, big brother, big sister with you, because that's what happens, You have these bloodline curses. The family couldn't corrupt you. You probably cut them off, or you just decrease contact with them. You're still maintaining your morality to some degree, so the demon is pissed off. You're not evil yet. So then, because you're a human that could be corrupted, some cannot be corrupted. They're going to just try to ruin your life like me. But you actually could be a bad human. You entertained it a little bit. They know, therefore, they just have to push you one more time. So you get away from the family, right? Or you grow up as an adult, you move out. Okay. They're going to then bring you humans who are similar to that. And they know you're wounded. They know you're traumatized. They know you desire, right, good role models in a sort of mature age, right, like a parent. They know you didn't have a good parent image, right, because your parents were evil as hell. So they're going to try to put those feelings and thoughts into you. They're going to act like your parent. They're going to act like your big brother, big sister you never had. Don't ever accept that nonsense. We're strangers to each other. We're not going to be big brothers and sisters and parents to each other. That's perversion. That's someone, you see, who wants to touch your body by acting like, you get me? Humans who are related to you. And they want to make it seem like it's just companionship. It's just love. It's just no. Okay? People who are too young than you and people who are too old than you, I would say 5 years and more difference of age, that's perversion. Normal human beings don't seek out people younger than them like that and older. They're like 1 or 2 age difference, no big deal. It's like the same age group. It's like we're high school classmates, right? 12th, 10th grade. Right? Anything beyond the age of 4 is too old. So that's also age perversion when it's male, female coming to each other like that who are too older than each other. That's perversion. And all those humans who do that are possessed. They've all come from families where their parents touched them. Their parents were creepy. Their parents brought old males to them. Right? When the girl was 14, they brought males who were like 30 or 20. When she was 10 or 7, they brought males who were teenagers. You get me? And vice versa for the boy. They're trying to teach you. And for the boys, usually maybe they brought them a little girl. He's 8 and they bring him a 1-year-old. Because usually the devil likes to push the male to a young female rather than an older one. So, right? And they projected that nonsense to you. right? They project these weird feelings and they put curses on you. They groom you. They make it seem like they're actually like your big brother or something. No, they're not. Okay, they're a stranger. They're not supposed to act too close to you. That's perversion, you know? That's why age matters. That's why humans get disturbed when they see someone old and someone young, because it's perversion. You know, you may not know what it's called, you may not know what's going on, but your gut tells you something's weird, right? Exactly. They may not have any intention to harm that person. It's just that it's perversion. You know, we're human beings were created to be friends with people our age group. You know, people just like our age, married people just like at that age. God didn't create us this way. It's perversion. They want to take advantage of these humans because it's demonic. The human could care less about that. You know, they're being pervertedly sexual with age groups that are of their own, but then they still go after someone way too young or too old. You get me? It's just perversion. It doesn't mean they didn't go and mate with someone around their age of the opposite gender. They probably did. That probably was their first fornication. It's just that perversion doesn't kick off other perversions. You get me? There's multiple. If they have one, that doesn't mean the others are not possible. You know? Which is why then you'll see males who marry females perfect age. You know what I mean? They're one age or two or three difference, or the same exact age. Okay, and then he's going after little boys, little girls, teenagers, right? These females in their 20s. Do you get me? And he's like a father now. That's what I'm saying. Just because they have a partner that's healthy in comparison to them doesn't mean, right? And then they're not going to be perverted. What the hell's wrong with you? It's just evil, you know? It doesn't matter who they're sexual with, right? In that healthy way. Perversion is still going to be there if they're evil. So they're just going to go after others. You get me? That then would cause them to be labeled perverted. It doesn't mean they don't mate and only go after others. You get me? They actually try to get married and establish that sort of fake life image of themselves of having kids to make you think they're a healthy adult, a healthy parent. They actually want you to think they're healthy. You get me? They have to hide their perversion like many humans who are perverted with the same gender, raping each other. They just call it homosexuality, like some sort of sexuality. It's just rape. It's not sexual. It's not a different sexuality. They obviously hide it by getting married to the opposite gender every day. It's like that. So really, if you ask me what is truly the definition of a pervert, it's really someone that goes after people way too young. You get me? It's really that. It's an old thing going after someone way too young. Then it's spread to other things, right? That too young could be their siblings. That too young could be their children, right? It could be the same gender, therefore, then, right? That human consents to it, does that all the time, right? It's obviously still a kid, but you get me? Then they're homosexual now together. If it's the same age group, right? Sorry, my words got ruined. Then at some point, they're going to meet another pervert like themselves. Do you agree? That pervert is going to be with another pervert, right? Okay, then, now what's going to happen? Exactly, they're going to touch each other, and that's what we would then call homosexuality. You get me? And since they're perverted to those way too young, they're just not balanced with their natural sexuality with the opposite gender, not related to them by blood or extended family like cousins, same age group as them. Since they're not in that list, right, that would make it healthy sexuality, right, which is maximum 4 years. You don't go above 4 years. 5 and more is perversion. That's what God taught me. So, 6 and 7 you can guess, right? But 5 is the problem here. And observe it. If creeps ever came after you, they were always 5 age difference than you too. So, right? At some point, they're just gonna go after strangers or go after their own family or someone they know. Exactly. They're gonna go after someone very small because they think it's easy. You get me? It's easier to attack them. It's easier to groom them, etc. Because some of them will become evil too, you know? And then at some point, they're like, hey, why don't you actually groom your perverted friend too? And now they become homosexuals together. And then one day they say, hey, why don't you actually attack a human? And they go rape someone. You get me? So it's very easy to see what perversion really is. It's a human that is going for humans way too young. And then at some point, they start to go after family. Okay, so the other perversion comes in of, right, incest or whatever. At some point, the devil tells them to go to their own gender, because there's obviously humans who are just like them, who are their friends, who are perverted too. At some point, the devil says, you two should harm each other. You get me? And then homosexuality got introduced. And then at some point, he tells them to go to someone way too older than them. And then at some point, he tells them to go to actually harm a human, right? Like actually attacking a victim, to rape or molestation. And then at some point, he tells them, exactly, go to animals, harm them. Pests, harm them. You get me? It's not really, they don't go in a different pattern. So, of course, they'll be perverted to their own age group too, but you get me? So, just know that you actually might be someone who's gang-stalked. You just may not think it is gang-stalking, because you actually fell into the trap. You accepted those types of humans into your life. I don't accept them into my life, so they retaliate. They follow me everywhere I go. The humans like that terrorize me everywhere I go, because it's their demon that's thinking, I'm not going to let you get rid of us. I'm not going to let you have normal, healthy, moral people like yourself be your friends and marry you, and one of them marries you. You get me? It's like they're thinking they have the right. Like you're some property or something, you know? It's an evil spirit. It thinks that family, all their qualities, right? They're mentally ill, which, right? Narcissism and all that's also a mental illness, just so you know. Right? So we would really label them mentally ill. One of them actually in that family that God put me in was actually insane. She was actually crazy, and she would run away a lot. People had to chase her down. She was actually an insane human. Lost it, okay? So there was a curse there, right, that would cause that type of high-level mental illness, as well as a curse of perversion, right? And that family's perverted, okay? A curse of the other type of, sin, that usually would happen if you're really perverted, but obviously sometimes can happen to normal people. It's just, then they're going to fix it. They might get married right away, which is sex outside of marriage. Fornication is a big sin to God. So that family had it. One sibling in that family I came from, we're Muslims, we don't have sex outside of marriage. So he actually committed the sin of sex outside of marriage. He had a daughter, and his daughter did the same sin. When she was around the same age too, in her 20s, she also had sex outside of marriage. A huge sin. So you see, it's a pattern, right? Why did she do what her father did? Did she plan that? No. It's a spirit. It follows them and makes sure they become the same, okay? That doesn't mean it's not their fault, okay? It just means that it teaches them. You get me? It calls them to it, and they actually choose, because they could have said no, correct? Okay, so because they don't ever say no, they don't ever change, the same demons then get to control them every generation. All their kids right now, that evil family got put me in. I'm talking, well, they have so many kids because there's so many siblings that got obviously put me into a family with. Imagine they all breed like animals because of that perversion. They're weak, lowly, filthy human beings breed a lot because they're perverted, okay? They just want to have dominance over kids. They want to use them. So, and that's sexism too. They like to control the female body like a machine. So that's another thing. They force her to have too many kids. The females never want it. And there you go. They'll threaten her with divorcing her and that nonsense, okay? And those females have demons that make sure they're always divorced, and they're scared of being alone. And then they therefore allow themselves to be with these males who want to dominate them. You get me? And the males are usually the ones trying to dominate. But then they were also allowing themselves to be dominated by others. You get me? Don't think they're out of the cycle. They also allow themselves to be dominated by other perverts. You get me? Some male when they were young who taught them to be perverted, okay? Some male who harmed them, okay? Like rape or molestation. They just became like them also. Usually those males, the mothers abuse them, so they're very weak. They allow those mothers to abuse them as adults, she literally controls them. They're very weak. That mother makes sure they don't ever marry females that could ever save their soul, She'll make sure that he picks a female that she picks for him, which is a witch like herself. And she'll usually pick one that's very young. You get me? Very younger than her. So you see, perversion is just evil. It's not something in a male. You get me? Don't think males are The perverts and females are not, don't insult us, okay? Evil is just evil. So an evil female, you get me, is actually going to help males lure and groom females. She's going to act like a good sister to those females and take them to places, and those males, she's going to help them to rape that female. You get me? Evil females who are perverted help evil, perverted, predatory males to rape females. You get me? That's why they want to act like your big sister too, right? It's not someone your age group trying to just hang out with you. Like, you're usually going to have humans who are way too old and way too young, usually being your main group. You might obviously have friends your age, but it's just that the demon will always sort of make witchcraft maybe upon you if you become evil yourself. Well, you just want to avoid them, but you actually want to mix with the one that's too old or too young. Creepy as hell. You're crazy. Because you become perverted too, okay? A healthy person would just, right, treat them as neutrally and be like, right, they put them in a boundary, right? They wouldn't let this person, have a bad negative influence on them, and they hang out with their own age group. But sometimes they might sabotage the same age group for you, and only this human is always around you, acting like a big sister, big brother, and therefore you allow it. You get me? You don't know they're perverted and they have bad intention. They want to corrupt you. They're doing witchcraft to you, etc. So you notice these patterns, right? Your jobs didn't really succeed. You always end up being around weird, creepy humans, very old usually. Maybe your coworkers are always old. You can't meet people around your age group as your colleagues, right? You might go to those nice, easy cashier jobs, fine, but then maybe things change. The manager always tried to act dominant over you, try to always touch you covertly, like acting like big brother, big sister, but they're actually perverted. They're trying to touch you sneakily. You're always thinking, what the hell is this? Like, why are these types of humans always coming to my life? You struggle with demons ruining your romantic life. You liked someone at one point or the opposite. That's natural for you. And things got ruined, okay? Maybe it was your fault. You didn't speak up because you have trauma from the past. You were abused and you don't want to say anything, okay? Evil thoughts in your mind. You have abandonment issues. You feel scared to be abandoned. You feel scared of rejection. That's demons, okay? You have curses that say that to your mind. So you actually sabotage your own relationship that God sent you. You might have already met the person you're supposed to marry, but you pushed them off. Okay, and now what's going to happen? Exactly. The devil will try to get you to become a pervert, go to clubs and bars, just sell yourself to any random stranger of the opposite. And at some point, they'll try to get you into homosexuality. They'll put you into porn, drugs, and alcohol, and smoking, and, right? Also masturbation. And then, we wouldn't really call masturbation necessarily very evil, but the others are really evil. We would just call masturbation a sin, but you harming your body, touching your body, watching perversions, right? Like the same gender, family, kids. Okay, now, whoops. You're the predator now, okay? You don't call that masturbation and insult the hell out of us. Okay? So, and there you go. That's what porn will show you, right? They always have those categories. They have prostitutes. They have, right, humans selling themselves, obviously. Who the hell exposes themselves and records themselves? They teach you perversion. They teach you humans who are, let's say, married and saying they're recording themselves. And now what are they teaching you? Right? This evil sin of your private moments with your spouse, you exposing their private parts to others. How dare you? They have these creepy old males with teenagers and children, correct? The government knows these types of things exist. I don't know how they get away with it, but everyone knows what's on porn. You get me? Good people don't look at that filth, but they just know what's on it because, right, it's all over the knowledge or the internet or whatever. What's actually on it's all over the news. Everyone knows what's on porn. It's the filthy things that are on there. It's obviously creepy old humans with, right, very small, younger human beings than them. There you go, because they're trying to show you the abuser who raped you or molested you, right? A human who's around the same age as you, they're going to show you that. If you become perverted and harmful and you're looking at that filth. And again, for some humans, it might even pop up on them. Sometimes you're going to other websites and These filthy things pop up on you, correct? I'm just saying for humans who actually watch it, you actually know what the hell is out there, that darkness. So it's just rape and molestation that porn is doing, okay? It's just rape. Of course, there are humans who are being sexual, but then they're harming each other. They're exposing their privacy, right? But the majority is really rape and molestation because it's some old human with a small one or younger one. They're trying to spread that nonsense, okay, of age perversion. A male very old and a female very young. A male that's actually old and actual female that's maybe teen or whatever. You get me? Because he could be 5-10 years older than her, or he could be 50 and she's 20 or 15. You get me? Those types of qualities of the age, okay? There's many ways age is diversely separated too far. Or right now, I'm hearing from people that, right, that there's actually now content online the government doesn't take off, which is children being harmed. So if they call it child porn, it's just obviously rape and molestation. I told you already, they're going to rape children, molest children, and now they're going to start recording them because of technology. And those kids are ruined, okay? They're going to put that stuff online. And definitely they'll use that to blackmail those kids. Same way they blackmail, older victims to these crimes. So really what demons are doing with porn is they're trying to show you, right, except the humans you would say are normal, healthy, same age couples who like each other, who are not related. They're going to show you all these perversions. Do you get me? Even rape, I'm sure. They're going to show you all this filth. The government is going to be possessed to not do the right thing, okay? Because they work for the devil. They're possessed. They're not people of God. They're not going to do the right thing. And all this perversion is literally like as if it's something normal, going to be just not easily exposable and publicly in your face. You get me? Because the devil is trying to teach you that stuff. He's trying to show you what evil looks like. Whoever wants to become like that, it then is going to go, right? And then those of you who were abused, he's trying to actually do witchcraft to your private parts and your mind as you look at something that looks similar to your abuse. This old male raping a kid or a teen or whatever, but they're calling it homosexual or sex, or they're calling it something normal, okay? But it's just rape. They're going to give it different terminologies, and then they're going to show you that video of you're watching it, and you're going to have the demon come to your mind. You're already possessed because you've become evil, and he's going to say to you, or she's going to say to you, hey, that's what happened to you. That's sexual. They're going to call it sexual, okay, instead of perversion or evil. So then they're going to try to do witchcraft to you to make it seem like your body parts are actually aroused to that. You get me? Because you already were aroused by watching normal sexual conduct between male, female, not related to each other, healthy age group. They're just perverted. They're recording themselves, okay? But what they're doing is sex, okay? Anal and oral is not sex. That's homosexuality, and that's rape, and that's harm, and that's from filth and unnatural, and it's not sexual. God didn't create that. So anything outside of that, the normal things we would, the way God designed them to have sex, you already watched that for hours, right? They made you have these addictions to porn. That's obviously first showing you something natural. The evil, the perversion is the fact that people are exposing that privacy that no human on the face of the earth is supposed to see, except the two people doing it. They're only supposed to see each other. So you're already aroused, correct? Your body's already aroused. Then they're gonna push you to see, even if you didn't click on it, the filth, the other perversions that God taught me exist. There you go. And they're going to make it seem like you're actually aroused. You get me? Of these filthy things. When you're aroused because you looked at porn for years, maybe you already got addicted to it as a teen boy or teen girl. You get me? You came from an evil family or this evil world that taught you that stuff. Even if the family is moral, obviously kids can learn it from kids who are crazy as hell. But you get me? Your kids, sadly, today are not protected from this nonsense. They learn all this stuff, and then they might have humans teach them what porn looks like. Back then it was just photos, now it's video, correct? Audio as well. Okay, so you're already aroused. You already masturbated for a long time. You committed these sins for so long. Your body's always quick to arousal, correct? Okay, so now they're going to show you perversions that are unnatural and predatory and evil, and they're going to make it seem like your body's actually attracted to that. Your body's actually aroused to that. See? This is how they come after you, okay? So they're using witchcraft on you too, They might put thoughts, intrusive images into your mind of normal, healthy sex. And you could be aroused to that. As you're seeing the filth in front of you, this filth, and they'll accuse you of, you get me, being attracted to that, or aroused to that. It'll make you so sick. And if you want to sensitize your body to filth like that, you want to take objects and put it into your body and your private parts and rape yourself with objects and mimic what homosexuals do to each other, attacking each other in the anal, and well, you've lost it. Now you're the most filthiest creation on earth. Okay, you're no longer human like us. You've left us. You're gone. Okay, you're gone. You're somewhere else. You're not a human anymore, okay? A pervert is not a human. So understand, right? These addictions, whether it's drugs, porn, the regular one, or the filthy one, right? Actual filthy, nasty, perverted, evil, disgusting things, predatory things, harmful things, rape, molestation, etc., right? As well as drugs, alcohol, smoking. Okay, so addictions, immoralities, right? You're evil in many ways. Perverted, narcissistic, arrogant, liar, cheater, gossiper, bullying others, lying, harassing. You work for the devil, basically, you know? You're possessed, and I know you can feel something is, controlling you every now and then, or inside your body. You just may not necessarily have the wisdom to know it's a demon as much, or understand what's going on, or why it's entered you. You might feel like maybe it's just a part of you that's evil, that's fighting with you. It's actually a different species, okay? Right? Bad, abusive family background. You're scared of love. You're scared of commitment. You're scared of marriage because they put those curses on you, so you don't obviously go the moral way. They want you to become perverted, not sexual. You get me? God created sexual as nature. It's normal. Opposite of sexuality is perversion, which means abnormal, perverse. It's going away from sexuality. You get me? It's going opposite. They want to turn you into perverted because your family has that type of quality, okay? They want you to become just like your father and molest and rape your own children. Okay? So these are just families who have bloodline curses like this. You might have certain diseases that your father had, your mother had, the siblings had, right? Just all of you just end up having these sicknesses at some point that, the others had. Because demons are making sure you live in a way that you develop it. Sometimes they harass you to develop it, and sometimes you do bad things to yourself, right? Like substance abuse, and you actually develop it because it's your fault in that way. They get you to do perversion maybe, and you develop certain diseases like herpes or whatever. You get me? Because they made you do bad things to yourself with others, etc. You develop certain, like that. Obviously, a lot of demons are trying to give you AIDS, HIV, by trying to push you to homosexuality. So now, even if you want to change and become moral, no one can give you a spouse. You get me? Because obviously the spouse is going to die. Okay, you're filthy, you have a horrible disease. And that disease, just so you know, is a punishment from God on homosexuals, okay? And others who do unnatural things. No one just focuses on the others as much. Like those who do what they call incest, which is extremely disturbing. So, what was I saying? So basically, right? Repeated homelessness, or you struggle with money, you struggle with poverty, right? You things were kind of okay for you. You maybe went to college, things were like okay, but at least when you started to actually have jobs, you feel like you weren't always the one to just get the jobs you wanted, right? Maybe the demon always projected to you to act more like sucking up to people in order to not lose your job. And then when you started to get tired of that, you became more authentic, or there are times you disagreed with those bully coworkers. Okay, now they started to covertly and directly do things to just push you out. Just push you out of the company. You just felt uncomfortable, maybe you left, right? And then bad job after bad job. And then, exactly, your romantic partner that God wanted to send you, which probably also is not, right? Which usually is a very good person. They're supposed to help you, save you, etc. You probably sabotaged it. And sometimes both of you are evil as hell, and you sabotage each other. Okay, because you both were supposed to break these curses, but you failed the test. You became evil too. And then, right, you just get into your 30s, almost 30s, or you're already in your 30s. Your life is just not okay. You know why? You just hypersexual, promiscuous. You go to clubs and bars. That's all you do. Just go to clubs and bars. You just drink. You just do drugs. You just fight with demons telling you to be a homosexual every day. Do this to yourself, do that, go rape someone. They tell you to do that, okay? You're resisting, you haven't gone that far yet, right? And they attack you with poverty. You just always struggle with money, struggle with social connections. These types of evil humans you would say are bad influence on you are always around you. You're thinking, where's the good people of God, you know? Witchcraft, okay? Bloodline curses. Something pushes them away from you. They keep you in a city, in a neighborhood that those humans obviously would not live in. You agree? They usually have good lives, good jobs, good careers. They're going to live in healthy places. They see some bad neighbors coming in, like humans like you and those you associate with, they'll move out like I used to do, okay? So that's why they go after my money. They hope that I don't ever have the ability to move out. You get me? When they surround me with weirdos. And they know they cannot corrupt me. They can't make me evil. So they hope to at least surround me 24/7 with humans who are evil. So you kill yourself. Obviously, you're going to get sick from that goodness. I'm not supposed to be around evil humans. I'm supposed to be around humans like myself. Do you agree? Whatever that I might be, right? If I'm a good person, I should be around good people. You agree? So you failed the test. You became evil. So demons control you like this. Just know you're also being gang-stalked. It's just you're not going to become aware of the spiritual parts of gang-stalking where they look at you, they smirk, they bother you, they honk, they smirk, they try to bother you. You're not going to, because you're going to treat them like a normal person. Every time they say, excuse me, you're going to be like, yes. When they try to, bump into you and brush your shoulder, maybe you made a joke and they just act like they're falling and laughing so hard they touch you. You're not going to know it's actually intentional and it's perverted. You're going to feel uncomfortable though, and that's your gut, okay? God telling you it's intentional and that it's perverted. Obviously, humans can touch each other, right? But this is perverted, okay? That's how you know. You feel uncomfortable. You feel like something just went off, right? Some button was pushed. You just feel yucky, you feel sick, you feel disgusted, you feel violated, okay? Don't fight with those emotions. Understand you need to then protect your personal space and protect yourself. And demons use comedy a lot to enter your life. They try to make jokes. Sometimes they make it seem like something's funny that's not funny, that's immoral or evil. They're always gonna act like that bright person, that good person. They try to act like they're like that person. Obviously, they don't look like a bright person, but they're gonna make it seem like that's who they are. Hi, what's up? They're gonna mimic. Okay, a healthy person could see through that because they judge people's eyes, and I want you to do that more. Look at their eyes. Look at their face. It's very hard for evil humans to hide their intention if you look at their eyes. Just look at their eyes. Look at their pupil rather than just the eye, right? Because they can smile and, squint their eyes or whatever. These humans who are possessed can never look at me in the eye. They're scared to death because I'm going to see what the hell's wrong with them, The demon wants me to think they're not scared of you or anything. If I ever look at them in the eye, they freak out and run away. So I'm not really a victim to gang stalking or these evil, filthy families being born to them. God intentionally put me in one of them so I actually could learn what's going on in such human beings on this earth, such families, so I could help people, bring solutions, etc. It's like the government asks you to go to this foreign country or asking you to go undercover in a prison and act like a prisoner, and you're actually a detective. Like that. God did that to me. It's like he asked me to be a spy, but a spiritual spy. Just stay in these filthy families. You're going to be created in them. Observe and watch how demons create all this chaos, and one day you're going to be used to help people. It's like I was given that mission. I'm not saying God speaks like that. It's like I was given that type of letter, that mission, right? So, since there are humans who are being pursued by these bloodline cursed spirits, generational curses, right? You come from families who are generationally cursed. It doesn't mean God cursed them. It means, you know what I mean? They're cursed. Their demons are always cursing them. You get me? They're putting curses on them. And they just become what the curse wants them to be. They have free will. They don't want to be good. Don't ever be like God is crazy. No, God didn't do nothing, okay? So God brings a human who could break the curse, but some of them fail and become evil too, like you. And I say you, a human who, despite whatever perversion or evil or addictions you've developed, self-sabotage, poverty, failure in life, you still deep down desire to escape this darkness. There you go. That's how you know you're who I'm talking to. Others, obviously, are moral and good people, and they're gang stalk every day. They're the victims every day who complain. They just don't call it gang stalking when they're not awake to the demonic side. They call it narcissistic abuse. You get me? So all those good people who are abused by narcissistic families, right? That kid, that human who grew up as an adult, they're a good person, right? They're not evil or narcissistic or anything. And they're jealous of them and they harass them and they bother them and that's it. They're being gang stalked, but they don't know it. So they don't label themselves that. They call themselves other names, right? Scapegoat, black sheep. They call those humans who right out a job. Same are narcissistic type of human beings, like their family harass them. They go to the street. So you get me? They're going through the same thing where complete strangers like their family bother them and always somehow seem to be pulled towards them. But they call it that narcissistic are somehow attracted to bother them. You get me? Well, someone who's awake to the spiritual world is going to call it gang stalking, okay? Understand a lot of the humans, 99.9% on YouTube, saying they're victims to gang stalking are the gang stalkers. It's easy. As long as they look mentally ill, as long as they look like a drug addict, you can even tell because their voice is very weak. You know, it breaks a lot like a mentally ill person, right? A drug addict, they have weak, shaky voice, right? Because of all the psychological problems they have mentally. They can't speak normally, right? They abuse things. Get out of that video, okay? It's them. It's the demon that's following me. The type of humans he's possessing, drug addicts, mentally ill, the most worst of the society. Humans who came out of jail and prison for bad crime. Because obviously you go to jail for normal things sometimes that don't make you evil. They just might have, right, created laws. Like, if anyone, I don't know, there's weird crimes lately coming up, right? Things that you can just tell people maybe you prefer as an organization or you prefer they just make it into a crime now. You get me? It's not about rules anymore. It's more about put people in jail for things that are not even bad or immoral, right? So I'm talking about, right, jail and crime for things that are bad, okay? They did bad things to people. Those horrible humans who come out of jail, prison, have nowhere to go, so then they become homeless in the street. That's what they all look like that, right? All homeless look like they have drug problems, incarceration problems, mental illness problems. Do you agree? Alcohol problems, abuse problems, trauma problems. So all these evil qualities they have, right? Evil character as well, perverted. The demons in your family and in my family are trying to accuse us of that. If we're moral people, we're good people. They're trying to take away our jobs. So we do become homeless because of their fault. And they want to make it seem like we're homeless because we're like those sort of, right, lunatics who became homeless because they're criminals, okay? Or they're crazy, you know, they're insane, or that they abuse drugs and they did that to themselves. They ruined their life. You get me? They don't want help, etc. They want to take away what we have that would show that we're a healthy person, a stable job, right? The ability, right, to have a home, keep your home, education, a good social life, marriage or love life, right? They want to take all that away. They just can't take your morality, right? If you're someone like me. So they just take away the materialistic things from us. So then they can make it seem like you're actually like that filthy family who has poverty on them. They're poor. It doesn't matter how civilized their country is. They're just going to be on the bottom. They have mental problems, right? They may not necessarily be diagnosed because these are the mentally ill ones who protect their mental illness, okay? They're narcissists, they're psychopaths, but they protect it. Other humans, right? They go and they tell them, you're bipolar, you're schizophrenic. They're different, right? They actually want to go and get diagnosed. These ones are the predators who even cause those humans to become like that, right? Develop things like schizophrenia, which is just demonic possession or mental illness. Mental illness doesn't exist. But, right, whatever we would say today is mental illness. Those humans developed it because of being abused, and they became evil, okay? Good people could struggle with mental problems, but they don't become mentally ill, okay? Mentally ill is actually an evil human, you know? They're possessed by the demon. That character that comes out of them that you would say is crazy, right, strange, weird, is a demon. Okay, and that demon can't use them like that unless that human is evil. Because demons possess regular humans who committed, right, small sin, But okay, they're good. You get me? They're gonna still lead a good life. They're never gonna desire or harm anyone. They're gonna have a job, right? They're gonna still lead an okay life. You're never gonna think they're mentally ill. You get me? They might tell you they have depression. Fine. Today they consider that mental illness. They're crazy. But right, humans, we would say their personality is the problem, right? Like bipolar, two sides come out. Schizophrenic, narcissism, psychopath, you get me? That's just possessed humans. The evil ones, okay? So these ones are evil, but they're like the weak versions of the evil, because there's two types of evil humans. The one that sort of takes the dominant side and abuses the other, and the other one takes the abuse. They don't do the same and abuse the other one back. They take a position of fearful of them. They're fearful of them, okay? They choose to be scared of a creation that's equal to them. Okay, so then, right, they're going to develop the mental illnesses that are more like, right, they're going to sort of self-sabotage, become homeless, just get into drugs, get into gangs, get into jail, get into, right, bad circles. They're just going to be that human you see in the street every day, just miserable, you know? Maybe they went to jail fine, but they may not go back to it as much. But they're doing evil. They just may not be getting caught for it. They're very perverted, just so you know. These humans are mentally ill. Because I told you they're evil, right? Okay, but there's many types of evil, right, or qualities. Perversion is their number one, okay? Exactly because when they were being harmed by the predator who's perverted, the abuser, they allowed it to happen. You gave me, they consented to it. And that's another reason they developed this high level of mental illness. It surfaced. The mind said to them, why did you allow this to happen to you for years and years and years? And they agree, right? They did that to themselves. So then they developed high level psychological, problems. You get me? Because of what they allowed to happen to themselves. And since they don't have the spiritual side, they don't understand the demonic side, they really think that's who they are. And there you go. They don't at least want to get help and go to the psychiatric side, even though that's demonic. And they're just going to drug them. You get me? They can at least use the knowledge part, right? The part where they don't drug you or anything. You just take knowledge, right? You just take ways you can control your life, right? They don't want that either. They just get into crime. Also, they're bad humans, okay? They're just like the weak one, the submissive one. And the abuser, right, that abused them and turned them this way is that narcissist, that psychopath that has that cool corporate job. He's that president. He's that mayor. You get me? He's a chameleon. She's a chameleon. They're actually having materialistic stuff. They're wealthy in that sense. They're enjoying pretending to be a good person, and they create more victims. They rape, molest more people, more humans. They cause more humans to go down self-harm. You get me? They're like that sort of predator of the evil human. While another one is evil too, they could harm others too, and slowly they become that way, but they're on the submissive side of an evil human. They're evil, but they're on the submissive side, okay? Because it's good to understand that. Since narcissists are possessed and they're also having these types of curses and demons follow them, why don't demons also put them on the street and, right, make them mentally ill like the ones you see every day and lose everything? Why do they seem to be the ones who, right, control our world? Taking the presidency, acting like your preachers, your sheikhs. Because demons need some humans who are evil to be in a position of power. Do you agree? So then they can corrupt morality and justice and God's religion and scriptures. Okay, they need some humans in that place. Because if moral people are always taking those offices, those seats, the world is going to be just, right? And that's another thing demons do. They know who's moral. They know which children are going to grow up to be good. They target them like me. They target them with witchcraft. They sabotage our finances because I told you money is how, right? The world is being controlled, right? Humans who you would say today have power to make laws. They just have money, right? Their job gives them money. So they want to take away money from people of God, from people who will use that money to really bring morality to this life, who don't follow what the scriptures say, because scriptures all have evil in it. Real moral people, okay? You're probably never going to know they exist. A lot of them are alive, but they're suffering from demonic oppression like me. They can't come and help you or be a leader for you because demons are coming after us, okay? And throughout the first initial phases of our life, we don't even know what the hell it is. We just think we just have bad experiences in life, you get me? So we're never going to fight with it spiritually because we don't even know. A lot of us find out at some point we pray, and God Almighty has taught me this week because I struggled with believing how he could deliver me from this. because there's a lot of witchcraft that has been done to my mind ever since 2019 that made me forget the stable way my life used to be. You know, I still used to see good people once in a while. Humans were still acting decent most of the, you get me? This extreme stuff was not always there. I could control these demons. They entered my life really, I would say, 2015, whereas it just everyone was them, you know? And they pushed me out of places. Even though right now I would not want to be in a mosque because they're following the demonic Islam, the corrupted scripture. Perversion, sexism is in it. It's not really the religion of the original way that it used to be of God Almighty. That's why it cannot spread. For that reason, who cares, right? That I got myself cut off from mosques. I don't go to mosques anymore. I don't go to religious Muslim places because I'm going to puke and die there. Okay? They accept perversions and sexisms. Okay. Those Muslims are highly perverted, okay? Just so you know, I've never met a Muslim that's not perverted. Can you believe that? I've traveled many countries, many states. All I see is the same type of family like the one God put me in. These perverted human beings who are Muslim. It's very hard to see the ones, right? Their religion is evil, but they're not. You get me? Because these types of human beings are just the majority of the human race. And obviously they're going to like religion because it obviously allows their evil. And the females are evil to themselves, so they're going to allow to be objectified. You would think, right, the female should escape from religion, right? It objectifies her. She's that victim, get it? The submissive one of the evil human that allows the one that's the abuser to do whatever they want to them. So they're never going to say anything. Even males are like that. You just don't think those males exist who are weak as hell, right? Who literally let someone dominate them. They're the homosexual, get it? They're the drug addict. They're the mentally ill. They allowed some male to dominate them, some female to dominate them. They're so cowardly. They don't want to speak up. They don't want to do anything. They're taking the submissive side. They're so scared of that human like a god, okay? And they become evil. They get possessed. They abuse others. They're not, right, what you think a victim is. They're evil too now. Okay. So there you go. There's different ways that evil humans are used. In order to create victims for the abuser type of evil humans, because they need victims, right? They need to dominate something, someone. Demons use evil humans. Because a good person is not going to let you do dominating behaviors to them. They're going to kill you. Okay. So anytime you hear about people being abused in a way where they could have done something, right? They could have said no, but they didn't. They became evil too, okay? Don't think fear is actually something logical no. We're a species. We cannot be afraid of each other. One is not a god, okay? You can just let someone act dominant over you like a bully. You can let them act like that to you. You can give them power. They don't have power. Keyword, you gave it, right? That you gave that power to them. If you had to give something, that means it didn't belong to them already, right? You had to give them power. If they were powerful, you don't have to give any power to them, correct? So only God is powerful, right? You being uncomfortable or fearing for your life when you see danger, no one's calling you weak, okay? I'm talking about when you're allowing it. You get me? You don't resist. You don't do nothing. You consent to it. You let it happen to you every time. You do it to others. That's what I mean, okay? So, therefore, evil humans are really, truly the victims to, I would say, crimes that require a human to always be in that same situation, right? They get beaten every day by domestic violence, but they never run away or call the cops. Okay, they're evil. You get me? Because they don't have enough morality to say no to the evil. They don't have enough morality to say, you don't have the right to hit me. You get me? I don't want you to think moral people actually have a quality of fear of violence or something else, and they actually consent to being abused. No. So it's not about bravery. You could be skinny as hell. It's about morality. If you don't like evil, you're not going to let it happen to you. It doesn't matter what the demon says. Oh, look, that human is big. It doesn't matter. You're stronger than them because you're the moral one, and evil is weaker. Evil humans are weak. Demons are weak. You get me? It's not about size. Come on. Our world would be destroyed if it was about size. Don't do that. Right? Don't mock yourself. Because no one chooses what their body looks like. Don't be dumb here. Evil humans are just bullies. They're scared of you. If you give them power, then they take it. You don't, they leave you alone. Okay, but there are things they can do that don't require giving them power. They can shoot you from 3 miles away. Okay, no one gave them power. I'm not talking about something like that, okay? I'm not talking about them coming to your home and stealing your money when you're not there. I'm talking about when you allow abuse to happen to you, okay? You're not moral. Because morality means you hate evil. You will never let it happen to you or others. That's why many people risk their life to save strangers, okay? It doesn't mean they want to die. It doesn't mean they could care less about death. No, they don't want to die either. It's just that they can't stand watching the conduct. They cannot watch someone being harmed. You see? Okay, so what does that mean they have? They have love. They have a lot of love in their heart. They're willing to fight with that abuser hitting someone, killing someone, trying to rape someone, abduct someone. You get me? They have a lot of love. Therefore, they have bravery. That's it. That's what morality is. It just means love. Evil means hatred. That's it. So if you try to maybe observe the humans around you, the strangers around you, your neighbors around you, the customers around you, your co-workers, I promise you, you're going to realize you're also being followed by demons, that you're being gang-stalked. It's just that if you act friendly with the gang-stalkers, they don't expose themselves to you that way, that they're demons. They don't bother you like they bother me. For me, I'm not allowing them into my life. When they come to the same park as me, the same library as me, the same street as me, the same class as me, all these years they acted like a nice person. Hello, how are you? They would come up to me and act like they're blind and try to get me to walk them to the bathroom or the front desk because they want me to touch them. You get me? They're perverted. They just want to find an excuse to touch me to a point where they want to act blind so then they can say, can I put my arm on your shoulder? Can I? Literally. These demons are so perverted that follow me. That's their first quality. Everything else they do to my life, right? Sabotage, stealing, delaying, trying to make you poor, using corrupt police to profile me, accuse me, harass me, put me in jail. That's just retaliation that I don't allow them to enter my life. Everyday evil humans who are possessed by these demons come into my life. Hello, how are you? Excuse me. They try to give me money. They try to sit next to me. They try to act like a friend. They try to give me a job. They want to enter my life. They want to replace the righteous husband you're supposed to have. They want to replace the righteous friends you're supposed to have. They want to replace the righteous community you're supposed to mix with. You're a person of God. What the hell you want from me? You know? This person is a person of God. What the hell you want from them? So it doesn't mean demons actually believe they can actually enter my life. Hell no, that means they actually believe you can marry a perverted, filthy male. They're mocking me, right? No, they don't believe that. They don't actually trying to get into my life like that using humans who are like that. No. They're just trying to be around me so they can actually have that quality of perversion. You get me? They just want to be around you. They're just creepy. They're just perverted. Then they want to slowly ruin your life. They want to slowly, just like the family tried to sabotage your success, your financial, etc. They want to do that. They'd rather mix with you and do that behind your back and steal your energy by acting like your friend and sitting next to you as you cry and say you're being harassed. But they're actually the one who did witchcraft to you and you lost your job. They want to be around me, enter my life, act like righteous, good people I'm supposed to be mixed with. They want to take their seat. They want to take the seat of my husband, my friend, etc. They want evil humans to take their place just so they can steal my energy. Not actually because they can actually marry me to an evil male. You get me? It's not possible. They just want to send me weirdos like that. They just want to steal my energy. It's not possible. But can you at least be cordial with them, right? An evil human enters your life. Maybe you're dumb and didn't figure out. Can you at least, right? Can they enter your life and at least act like they're a fake friend? Like that. They just want to enter my life. They just want to repeat the same abuse the family did. Always trying to act like they're dominant over you. You know, this complete stranger that a demon was possessing, this female, she tried to act like she wants to help me one time when I was homeless. She's like, I'm Muslim, I want to help you. She tried to lure you that way. It's a demon. And then when I wanted to see, because I allowed it. I knew what the hell they were. I wanted to see what they would do. So I acted fake with it. And I was like, sure, you can help me. And then, okay, she's like, you can stay at my home. I'll help you get a job, etc. Instantly, she tried to act like dominant. She's like, do you know I'm your elder? You're supposed to listen to your elders. Why are you not responding to me? Okay, like, literally, she tried to act like her demon was acting like it can dominate you. That demon is so scared of me. It's not real. It's not happening to me. God is just putting me in that nonsense to show me what their powers are. To people they do that to. So I go through a huge traumatic response every day. Humans who are scared of me, demons who are scared of me, simply because God put me in a program where I'm going to have to be treated by the same way they treat humans they bother every day. I have to see those behaviors that you would say are dominant, that you can't do to someone you're scared of, like me. But God makes me go through it, as if I'm not this person that humans would never act like that to. So then I have to go through trauma as if I'm a weak person, as if demons are accusing me of being someone they can dominate. You get me? It's not me. God is putting me in it to show me what the hell they do to those people. Those people who are very equal to each other. They can try to dominate each other. You can't do that to me. So then 5 seconds later, when the demon gets out of that human, the human runs away. They scared the hell of me. They think I'm going to kill them or something. That's what I have to deal with. They're scared of me, but only when God sends them to me, then they do behaviors that you would say are dominant, right? They're not acting like they're scared of you. It's insanity what the hell I go through, okay? So don't actually think I'm being treated like this. That's why I don't give a crap. I don't care. Okay, so that demon, right, possessed that female. She was acting fake friendly before, and they always like to ask you about your family. Where's your family? They always want to get their phone number because they want to connect that evil family that stalks me to them, because those family, they're possessed by demons. So you're gonna see strangers who try to act like they have good interest for you, but they're obsessed with your family. They're obsessed with your family history. Because it's that demon in the family, you get me? Who wanted to control you and dominate you in that family. You cut them off or disown them or lowered the contact. You are trying to run away from that nonsense and save yourself. But similar humans come up to you and they're going to try to then do the same thing to you. Treat you like some weak thing they can dominate. Elicits traumatic responses and anxiety and panic attacks in you that you had as a kid maybe. Do the same behaviors that family used to say to you. You have to listen to me, something like that. And that demon possessed that female. Again, it's not happening to me. I'm just seeing what it looks like. Her demon said, I don't remember what she said. You have to listen to me or something. And I literally said this, just one sentence. I said, I don't have to listen to you. Because what were they saying? You have to listen to me. I'm your elder. She's a complete stranger, okay? I'm your elder. Do you not know? I don't have to listen to you. The demon was like, get out of the house. Get out. That's it. They cannot abuse and bully you if you don't obviously do what they want. They want to do dominating behaviors. They want to treat you like something weaker than them when they're weaker than you. Because it's a demon, okay? It's getting power from God. It's not a fair battle between us. You get me? It's not really the human. For you, yes, it is. You can obviously get these humans out of your life. But for some people who sometimes have curses like this, yeah, humans who are weaker than you might actually act like they can treat you in that way. And you might start to get confused. You're like, excuse me, I'm actually stronger than you. You can't treat me like that. So why are you so confident? It's not a person. It's a curse. God created the curse. So it's actually God's power. You get me? Don't feel like the demons or humans somehow became, unfairly powerful, and you're the one who's stronger than that specific human. No, it's not a living thing. They're using magic. You can use magic and become evil, and one day you're gonna bother someone strong. You get me? It's not a fair battle. But can they harm you? Can they do things to you? No, that's actually about dominance. They know they're gonna get murdered if they try to bother strong people and people of God. They can just act evil, you get me? They can say condescending, disrespectful, nasty things. They can come after your job. They're just going to do things that have nothing to do with you versus them. But it's more of, I'm trying to make it seem like I'm actually not scared of you, so you can react to me and beat me up and you go to jail. They're just trying to put you in jail. They just want to get you to react in that way. They're not actually saying, right, that they're dominant over you. They're not acting like that. They want to act like something they cannot do towards you. So you actually get mad and you beat the hell out of them. You okay? It's a demon. It's fake. What was I talking about? So the same way that demon right in that female said, get out of the house. And I just kept laughing. I was enjoying it. I was like, okay, this is what you're trying to do. It's the same way that that family would have treated you as a kid. They tell you to they tell you to allow them to abuse you, right? You stand up for yourself. They try to touch you. They try to abuse you. They try to accuse you. When this sibling, like it used to happen to me a lot, would harass me, I stand up for myself. He'd go to the older siblings. They all gang up on me, accuse me. Okay, then they try to come up to you, use the group against you, use, right, fear of violence against you because you're just a kid. You know? And there you go. If you stand up for yourself, which I always did, then they would scare you that you're going to be homeless. Even as a kid, I was afraid of losing home. I was afraid of being homeless as a kid. You know? So because the subconscious knew there was something like that following me that wants to put me in that situation. Sometimes your fears are actually from the childhood because the family projected that to you. They didn't say it to your face, right? But they subconsciously projected to you that that's what's going to happen to you if you do the right thing, if you don't let evil into your life and you don't become evil yourself. They're going to project to you that they're going to retaliate. They're going to take your materialistic or worldly material because that's what demons do. They hope you become evil or you allow yourself to be abused, which you cannot do unless you're evil too. There you go. I explained that already. So good people will always leave, okay? They cannot be abused, right? They can only be ambushed in a way where it's something small because they cannot, right, know everything that's going to happen. They're not God. But you can't do harmful things to them because they're strong. They're going to stop you. And demons and those evil humans who work with them will be scared of you. You're not someone to mess with. Okay, but we have humans over there who allow themselves to be weak. They're going to destroy you, okay? And then teach you to be the same evil as well. So understand you're being gangstalked too if you have these types of problems, if you have these types of families you came from, and strangers conduct themselves like this towards you as well. And when you try to get a job, you struggle as hell to get a job, months and years. It's not the recession, okay? There's a curse on you. That family is thinking, you know, we curse you to never be happy, so that then you have to come back to us and hope that you treat us like God, as if we can save you, as if we can give you money, as if we'll take care of you. We hope you're so scared to be alone, right? Because they do witchcraft to you or curses to you that, right, just pushes away the people God designed for you to be with, right? Your friends and your spouse. Okay, since you're lonely then, they hope that then you come to them for that companionship, right? Which is not possible. Evil is not a companion. You get me? They just want you to sell yourself, goodness. And at some point, again, this depends on who you are. Some humans are filthy. If you're a filthy human, they hope you allow yourself to be raped by them, molested by them, do homosexual conduct and filth, incest and all that filth with them, which is just rape, but you're consenting to it with those unnatural groups, okay? It's that simple. The devil just is saying to you, if he can corrupt you into an evil human, then he'll find every loop he can to turn you into one, okay? If you're resisting, but it's possible that you become evil, but you're resisting, he'll attack you with materialistic things until he hopes you crumble. You can defeat him and break the curse, okay? And if you're a healthy human who could never be evil, they're just gonna abuse you with materialistic loss all the time. Are they God? No. It's a curse. That means it can be broken. God promised us deliverance or freedom from these demons and the powers they have, which has nothing to do with us anyway. You agree? These things are from ancient humans way before us who died. The sin they committed, it invited evil spirits into that family. That's why what you do matters. You teaching children evil versus good. You teaching them not to let anyone touch them, not to consent to it, right? Because they can become evil and allow it. You're teaching them to fight and be strong and never allow evil into their self, matters to you, the parent. You think as long as you married a good person, you're good to go. What the hell? Even your kids can invite demons into your home. Their friends can invite demons into your home. Their teacher. You get me? You have to observe everyone around you. Don't let them bring evil to you, teach evil to your kids, bring evil to your home. And don't ever, when, right, your life is difficult, right, usually financial, which is what the devil likes to do, because humans usually, right, need money to survive. It's not like past human history. You could just build a tree, mango grows on it, right? Banana grows on it. Now you have to use money to buy food, correct? So that he hopes you crumble then. If you're a good person, he hopes you just leave God. You're not going to become evil, but you're sinning. You're not worshiping your creator. But if, and then he hopes you do small sin. That doesn't make you evil, you know? And if you're a human that could actually like evil, he hopes to make you evil. He's just using this world, this very short temporary world that's going to end. God designed you to be in paradise with your father and your mother, Adam and Eve, right? They repented for their sins. God forgave them. So the devil corrupted the Bible to be like, oh, he didn't forgive them. No, he did. God is forgiving. But there's a limit, right? You have this life to repent before you die. That arrogance, not wanting to repent, demons possessing you, but you never telling anyone and acting like you should hide it or whatever, instead of fighting against them, not repenting, not saying no to evil, not getting it out of your heart and mind. Those are the things you need to do to go to hell, okay? It's your choice. You don't have to know God. You don't have to know religion. You don't have to know anything. But your conscience knows right from wrong, and you just know how to simply be normal, which is morality or good or love. It's okay, even if you didn't know who God was. He'll find a way to give you a protection from that hell. God loves good human beings. He doesn't love everyone, just so you know. God does not love evil human beings. He does not love anyone who's evil, whether it's a human or another species. God only loves those who do good. The devil corrupted the Bible to say he just loves everyone. He's accusing God of loving rapists and murderers. No, he doesn't. You instantly become a transgressor, and he says to kill those humans. Okay, they just have the permission from him to repent and seek forgiveness and change. Okay, but they're still going to get punished in hellfire for what they did. Otherwise, he would be unjust. So God is just. If you have these demons in your life, you need to do two things. One, right, you need to be a moral person. That's how you break that curse. You need to be the opposite qualities of that crazy family. And all the qualities they had that may not necessarily, right, make you evil technically, but they're bad things for you, like drugs, okay? Right, they have those addictions, right? Leave porn and all that, that's perversion, that's evil, okay? Don't let the devil tempt you by making it seem like you're only going to look at the ones that are normal sexual stuff. Because maybe, again, right, he took away the person he was supposed to marry. You struggle with urges and stuff. That's actually what the gangstalking also does. It hopes to teach the good person, the moral person, to look at porn, because demons take away the person they're supposed to marry, sabotage. And they usually, God usually matches them with someone who's not really going to choose the moral side. They're in the middle. They could be evil or good. And one of them has to actually pray for the other and save them. So in order to break multiple curses, right, of these types of generationally cursed families, God likes to bring that one person he put in that family like me to break their curse, and another human from a similar family he also put in that family to break their curse. He likes to bring that one male and female together to marry each other. You get me? So that it's like a double win. They create a bloodline that will make sure, because they know what the hell happened in those families. They're going to make sure those types of evil doesn't come into their life and their children. They're going to raise their kids really well, right? And usually the other one that needs to be guided, right, by this one that's moral, because this one almost got misled by the devil. They were being dragged, right? There you go. This one has to be praying for the other. The other soul gets saved that way. And now they get to break the curse on behalf of that one. That doesn't know how to pray. That doesn't probably worship God. That probably doesn't know how to break a curse. Okay? You get me? These two people understand trauma and suffering from family and others abusing them all the time. So they're going to be the best companions when God brings them together to be companions, right, in marriage. But it's a very risky thing. The devil can steal your spouse, right? Since God usually makes the moral one marry one that could become immoral or good. They're in them. You don't know what they're gonna become. Okay, you're gonna have to see it for yourself. But this one is good. They're never gonna change. God likes to sometimes, right, match you with another one that's just as moral as you. And sometimes it's possible, right, that your spouse that God designed, chose for you, was supposed to be this human, right, of the opposite gender. But it's possible, right, that the devil wins over them and corrupts them. Do you agree? It's possible, because humans can choose what they want to be. Okay. Now they're no longer your spouse. You get me? God is not going to send them to you, goodness. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to go to their perversions and promiscuity and homosexuality and all that nonsense because they went through so much abuse from family and the same gender. And there you go. So they're going to be called by the devil to things like homosexuality and all that filth. The devil's going to drag them to high-level perversions and evil. He's going to try to make them so evil. Also, so he can steal this person, right, who's very good and moral, that he cannot corrupt, that's good, and God loves this person. He's going to hope to hurt this person so much by taking their spouse that God wanted them to marry. It doesn't mean God wanted you to marry an evil human. No, there was an option. You get me? They could have become good too. They're just a human that it's possible they could say good or evil. They could choose their path. While there are humans God creates, they don't have an option. They're just always going to choose good. You get me? They're just naturally good. They're just moral. So they're better than you. Because they can never be tempted to become evil. You get me? Sorry, not the word tempted. Tempted makes it seem like something actually tempting. They can never, ever entertain being evil. So you're doomed then. If that human takes the devil's side, which is actually what I believe twin flames come from. It's so similar to a lot of people like me, our experience with someone we have a strong love or desire, attraction for, that God's made us meet at one point. But they become weird or promiscuous or strange or maybe evil, or, right? They get dragged by the devil into evil, into addictions and problems. Okay, that strong connection is because you're literally supposed to marry each other. God doesn't have 2-3 other options for you. You're it. Okay, he's gonna have to pick a different person. Obviously, I'm not saying I know everything God does, but right, you're not those humans that it's just optional. You mate with this one, you don't like this one, maybe you don't. Okay, you can mate, right? Humans are like that. They're hypersexual. They can just replace the partner, right? God will obviously let you have options, right? If you don't want this one. Okay, but these are humans God wants to break curses. He wants them to actually be the ones to come together. So they cannot see each other like the rest of the human race. Sees the opposite gender that's not related to them that they normally like. You get me? You guys are going to be extremely attracted and extremely desire each other sexually. You're going to love each other way too much. You get me? As if you were just created for each other and that's it. And it's possible that you actually are created for each other and there's no one else. And if that person doesn't get to marry you because you go to the devil, you fool, right? That this person actually never marries. And a lot of them do not marry because they're very, very loving, wonderful people. They're not like that, you know? They're not sort of hypersexual or whatever. They can't just turn a human away from themselves and go to another one of the opposite, right? That's compatible with them, like turning a page. You get me? They're not like that. They're very empathetic. They're very sensitive. They're very loving. It's just, you know, those humans who are just unique. They can love a lot. Like that. That's usually who they are. And a lot of them are not, okay? The large majority are just regular humans. Large majority, okay, that God chooses to break these curses. They're just regular humans. They can, if you're not going to marry them, you become evil. They can just go like someone else the next day. You get me? It depends. So, yeah. If you're the one who's being dragged by the devil, you're resisting evil, but you went towards it to some degree, this is your message to come back. You need to pray to break these curses. It's your job. I know you might be thinking, what did I do? Why should these demons follow me? They follow other humans too. It just may not be bloodline curses. It could be some other way they follow them. So don't feel like, you know, like it's just you. They follow everyone, okay? They still try to do these things to other humans too, right? Sabotage your life either way. It's just for you, it's just stronger. It's just like it's always there. So don't see it as a burden, but see it more like as an honor. God is actually saying to you, I have a, like, right, that he has a mission for you. He gave you some cool mission, you know? You're going to be rewarded for breaking that curse. Those demons get to not leave you, whoever you marry, and whoever, right, the children that come out. These demons will never follow them. They'll never come after you with those same intentions to cause you the same diseases, addictions, mentalities, mental problems, financial problems, social problems, relationship problems, immoralities. It's not going to be that sort of, right, demon that knows you and your ancient family, your habits, your parents, and it sort of thinks it can dominate you too. You're not going to have this wicked thing be there. You're going to be able to, right? Your kids are going to be able to grow up normally, get a job if they want, if they apply. You get me? There's no resistance. There's no constant rejection. But then they can sin, right? They can restart this nonsense all over again. They can become evil and sinners. And boom, demons then start following them, right? They're broken from you, right? Because you broke that out for yourself. But, right, obviously the evil demons in them, if you have a relationship with kids, obviously, then they're going to, with your kids, then they're going to obviously affect you at some point, right? But, right, these demons, you're already broken free from them. They can't come back to you, but now they're going to follow your kids. Whoever they marry, their kids after that. You get me? Then it's going to be their problem now, okay? So, you get me? Either way, it can come back. It's something demons can always try to establish. So that they do try to establish it, obviously, over families who are healthy today. Good families, right? People become decent every time. One day they're going to try to find one of them, make them a rapist. Boom! That one invites those horrible demons. They'll push him, right? They'll protect him from prison, right? Killing him and stuff. They'll give him some filthy female. They'll have kids, and now the cycle continues. Do you see what I'm saying? He harms the kids. She harms the kids. Those kids become abusers instead of, right, coming against the abuse and becoming moral. The cycle can start anywhere, okay? So it's a big mission. I have to do that. I'm still in the process. That means they can't follow me. That means that evil family will forget me and stop stalking me. You know? That means I can just be free and enjoy my life. And God has this week, right, April, the first sort of week of April, I think today's April 4, he has shown me that, yes, he can deliver me and he will do it. Because I had a lot of demonic attack on my mind that said, no, he cannot. He gave demons so much power over you. He's therefore a bad God. He can't help you. I swear to God. Right? I was being dragged by those thoughts. Not because I think God is bad. Not because I believe in the evil thoughts. But because it's taking so long. You get me? I just thought I'm going to die with this nonsense. He showed me recently. All the times he's done enough to show me that that's not true. God has taught me about familiar spirits. Right? Islam doesn't teach you about that. We just know jinn. He has taught me to be awakened to religion, the parts of the Bible, right, that are still correct, because it's the same God that we worship. They just changed his identity. They made God into Jesus. So the Torah used to be God's book, which is the Bible today. So there's some truth in it. God has awakened me to use that truth, and that actually helped me and taught me how to fight with these ancient demons. And this family God put me in, which is in almost every single Muslim family now. You get me? That's why Muslims accept the perversions in Islam, because they have ancient demons too. Those Muslims are not going to be fearless. They're going to be scared of the threats that religious preachers make, who tell you to shut up, God is like this, obey, you're going to go to hell. Again, they're not obviously good people, right? If you're a good person, you don't do evil just because you're threatened. But you get the point, right? They're evil, but they're still being threatened, right? Okay. That obviously happens to other religions too, right? The false ones like Christianity, Judaism, all those other humans have that same problem too. They're told to accept evil, or God is the one that's gonna come after them, okay? So it's just what humans go through. I'm just trying to explain what's wrong with Muslims. They have these demons too, a lot. Right? Since they corrupted God's religion, which is Islam, by putting perversion, sexism into it and other evil. accusing God, prophets, messengers, the righteous people of the past human history who spread this religion. They accuse them of being perverts, being the crazy. Okay, then Muslims are gonna suffer generation to generation. Those who are not strong in their morality, right? They don't have enough love to say no to evil in their heart. They have evil too. They have hatred and envy in their heart. They fell into the traps of the devil, became evil, agreed with that, right? Just like millions and millions of the Christians do and the Jews do, okay? They don't come against their books either. It's not a Muslim thing. It's just there's a huge majority of the human race who just does that. They just become evil. So it's not because of the scripture, right? They didn't become evil because of Islam goodness, right? They already were evil just from the way that they grew up, and they just naturally, by their free will, chose to go down being bad in heart. Okay, then when the religion says it's okay to be evil, right, then it just makes it worse, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying a good person became evil by a scripture. That's not possible. You have to already be evil, correct? In order to agree with something evil. You can't become evil that moment. Again, that can corrupt you that moment, right? That could be the moment you choose to become evil. I'm just saying in order to even, right, fall into that choice of saying you're going to get corrupted by this, right? Join this mentality. Shouldn't some evil already be in your heart that would allow you to fall into that choice of liking this horrible, scripture or lie or book or human who's lying, or right? Something has to already be there, right, in your heart. Okay, there's evil in their heart then, is what I'm saying. So one, you break the curse by actually praying. I'm going to upload those prayers. I'm going to upload just one. I found a perfect one that literally is so detailed, I couldn't believe it. 50 minutes, okay? Every day do it one time. Do it with me. You're going to be free from these demons. Be patient. When God takes months or years to deliver you, it's okay. You're going to be free. Bad things will start to happen. Demons will try to intimidate you. They might try to use cops around you and try to make you scared. Someone will bother you or accuse you. Don't be scared. Rebuke them that moment. I'll teach you how. Pray at night, middle of the night for protection, etc. 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., I'd say. Perfect time to pray to God, because he's, much closer to us, and he accepts our prayers faster if we use that time. But other times also is perfect too. He's still God. Fast. But do you have to go through all this? No, just do the prayer with me, okay? You're just breaking the curses. That's just ways you can worship your Lord, even if you don't know who he is. Past human history, right? When prophets were no longer there, scriptures were no longer there. How did those humans, right? Some of them didn't even have literacy yet. How did the moral people who always desire to know who their Lord is, how did they worship him if religion was not really there? Right? The religion of God. They just believed there was a God out there, right? They just worshipped him. You get me? They just spoke to him. God guided them to know that he's one and not two, a tree, a creation, a cow. He just guided them, okay? And they just believed in the fact that he's one, he's out there, he's powerful, like that. God protected them from the corruption of worshiping his creation, like humans or objects or animals or the sun or the moon. He just naturally guides them, because why these humans call out to him, God, are you out there? Who are you? Like that. So do that. Ask him to guide you to who he is. Islam is the correct religion. Just leave the evil. It's going to be taken out soon. That's the other reason I'm persecuted. I have to learn what demons did to corrupt it. Just like God put me in this bloodline cursed family to learn how the human race, the majority, is corrupted. They're all in bloodline cursed, families. You know what I mean? There's different types of these bloodline cursed families. It doesn't always have to be this example I gave you. Others are really wealthy, right? They make maybe reality TV shows. And you're like, what the hell's wrong with this family? How come all of them become the same? Their kids. How come their daughters always make the same choices of the male they marry? Always some weird perverted weirdo who's, right, cheating on them and stuff. You get me? It's because their demons push them to choose such males. They're not good either. It's just usually the male abuses the female more. She's evil too. A good female who didn't know who she married will run that moment. She'll run, okay? The difference between a good and bad person. Good people don't tolerate evil, because in order to tolerate it, you have to be evil yourself, okay? So it's not about fear or something else. There's no such thing as fear. We're a creation. We're not dominant than each other. Only God is dominant over us. So these families, their demons try to teach you to be submissive or scared of family or parents. And that corruption is in God's religion. Right? Islam, Christianity, they tell you to obey parents. There's no such thing as obey your parents. Don't ever listen to that nonsense in Islam. You're just with everyone God created. Just. You choose who you love. So you're not going to force yourself to love family or anybody. If they're evil, cut them off. You have the right to disown them. The corruption say you're going to go to hell if you disown them. They say you're going to go to hell if you become a non-Muslim. God gave the human race free will. There's no force in Islam. You can't force someone. Okay, so if you kill a Muslim because they became a non-Muslim, that's you forcing them. What the hell? That's how you know they're lying to you. Because they're going to tell you, the religious preachers in Islam, no, you can't force someone. That's how they try to lure non-Muslims into Islam, right? They talk so eloquently, so chameleon-like. But then when you join, they abuse you. They talk to you like you don't matter. But when you're the non-Muslim, they act like they're trying to get you to agree, right? They act like they care what you think of them. But then when you're the Muslim, they act like you should just obey the nonsense they say. Otherwise, right? If you were in a Muslim country, you'd be killed. You're going to go to hell, blah, blah, blah. That's how you know someone's abuser, right? Isn't that what abusers do? Before you gave them power over you, or before you fell into their trap, and it's not a situation where you gave power, they lure you, right? They act nice and stuff. When you're in their trap, then they threaten you, correct? They become violent. They become with their true self. So this religion is corrupted, okay? Because God cannot tell moral people like me to accept perversions and nasty, filthy things. He cannot ever make sure that I get married in this life. When evil, like perversion of raping 4 females, 4 wives, they call it, is in this religion. Okay, righteous women like me are never going to get married then, correct? God obviously would love me more than those filthy females of the human race. He's not going to leave people like me out of it. Something good he created by calling you to evil, you're not going to do. God would be happy that you don't do evil, correct? He hates evil. So that's how you know there's a problem. That's how you know there's corruption. Because only evil humans could do what it's telling you to do. Strong, healthy, moral, good, intelligent people are not going to do evil, correct? Gosh. Okay, so that means healthy people are going to go to hell then. What kind of God are we worshiping? A fake one. So, first one, do these prayers with me every day. Instead of all these hundreds of prayers on YouTube, you're going to get frustrated. This one is so detailed, you're going to be amazed. It's so long though, so bear with it, okay? You're literally going to be free, okay, from your addictions. Whatever immoralities or perversions you've accepted and become to some degree. Whatever, financial problems you have. The evil families or humans that follow you and bother you. Right? You're so confused about God and religion. You're going to be free from all that. And if you're someone who didn't who didn't choose evil, right? You're not like that. You don't fall into things like you don't choose things like perversion. Okay, then you're going to be free from what demons do to humans like you who are not evil. Which is what they do to me. They steal my finances. They steal my social life. They steal the things that God wants me to have. For example, there were times that I'd go somewhere, right? And these people would give these gifts, right? It's like a place where people are being given like free stuff. And God put a blessing in front of me. There was this huge bag of clothes, right? This is when I was homeless way back. I literally see God making demons do things around me to teach me how demons work in the spiritual world and the physical world. So what this human did is what the demon does in the spiritual world. Okay, they steal from you. And what they also do in the physical world. Basically, God made this employee put this huge bag of new clothes in front of me, okay? And then this evil, mentally ill, crazy, smoker, drug addict, lunatic, see, same type of humans like that filthy family. Demons are trying to turn some of you into. Who are homeless today in the streets everywhere. This weirdo and this crazy female that he was dating or whatever, or at least he was with. They literally came and just snatched that bag that was put in front of me. I was just taking my time looking through it. I'm so calm and gentle with it, you know? Boom, they just snatched and ran off with it. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? This is for everyone to pick clothes from, right? It was just free clothes. And it was not clothes that people wore. It was new, brand new. The demon stole it from me. Do you get me? That was a possessed human. He stole that blessing God put right in front of me. And I remember always thinking, if you were just quick enough, if you just picked what you needed quick enough, because there are times God lets the devil steal from us like that. If you're quick enough, if you fight with them, obviously you'll get some or all. But is that normal? No, right? Or loving God should not let us, he should not put us through that, right? We should just have what we want. The demons should be told to get off of our way, right? That does happen. So there were times then, right? I could see all these humans who are possessed who normally steal from me like that, right? They're the other humans who are homeless. Or they're evil ones, okay? I don't belong there. I don't belong in that homeless group. They're crazy and evil and mentally ill. That's why they're homeless. I'm a normal person. Demons are persecuting, and that's why I'm homeless. So I'm going to be targeted, right? They're all going to gang up and work together. Their demons are going to obviously bother me, even if I was not being persecuted. You get me? It's just you're not the same as them. You're not weird like them. So I struggle to get help in this country because homeless really means evil and crazy and weird. While other countries, you could just be a poor person, right? Be the most loving person on earth. You could be intelligent and just lost your money because of fire. You get me? It's different. And usually humans, right, if they become homeless or poor, they don't have to go to shelters, right? Because you have social connections you can stay with for a while. There you go. There is no social connections. There is no other connections or other things you could say the person could use to not at least go to these weird places like shelters, because they sabotage that in my life. It's a huge generational curse. I'm dealing with very strong curses, okay? It's taking years to get them off my life, but I'm almost there. That's why I'm recording this episode. I'm literally defeating these demons. Even today, I went to this place, right, where when I'm shopping, they use like 40, 50 human beings all at once to walk towards me and try to assault me. They're perverted as hell. So yes, they're trying to prevent me from what I'm trying to buy. They try to mop it, which is what the gangstalking does. You try to buy food, you try to buy clothes. Maybe you're homeless, you're trying to get it for free from a shelter or nonprofit or church. They're going to steal it from me. They're going to use those evil humans to steal it from me. They'll bring humans from a faraway city who don't even use that nonprofit. They're going to just mop my stuff. Get it? They're stealing my blessings physically like that, but in the spiritual world, they're already stealing my blessings using witchcraft. Because who gave them the power to come down and possess these humans and identify me and say, let's steal from her today. Let's reject her from this great job that I know this manager likes her. They're going to hire her. Let's put some thoughts into their head and get them to hire someone else 10 days earlier. You get me? Where are they getting this power? God, obviously, but where? Curse, right? It's not my problem. I didn't do nothing to get cursed. I'm just an innocent child born to this filthy, perverted family, okay? So that doesn't mean we are punished for other people's sins. No, the demons follow you because you're a person of God, or you're a person who's not gonna become what they want. And they also follow evil humans, obviously, duh. That's how they made them evil, correct? They followed them too. So they follow everyone. So they follow you a little more. God knows you can handle it. Okay? While other humans, demons are not going to follow them like that. They're not going to sabotage you like that because you're evil. They have no business following you. They don't see you as a threat. They would put money in front of me hoping that I take it so they could call the cops on me and accuse me of theft. I see $10, $20 just laying in front of me every now and then. I know what gangstalking does. It's trying to put me in jail, accuse me of crime, so that I don't ever become myself. You get me? The great blessings and qualities I have that the family doesn't have, that their demons are following to prevent me from accomplishing, from people from seeing how gifted I am, intellectually and artistically. So, and there you go. I'm not going to work for an employer. I'm going to make my own money. So that's why they're obsessed with my money. Because I'm going to then be having the ability to meet the people who are moral like me. Because, right, I can use the money to get away from bad places. Do you agree? I can create a company and hire who I want. Do you agree? I can travel the world and visit people who I love that I know are good people because I maybe researched them online. Do you agree? They come after my money then. When you're in the street, when you're homeless, when you're poor, who's usually in the street? Come on, good people don't hang around streets technically, right? Unless they're working there or whatever, that's what I mean technically. But are good people going to be in the street? No, the street is for criminals. Which is these humans who are like the family, who are possessed. It doesn't mean they're always homeless. They just come outside to be a devil's stalker. They work for the devil. They come outside, they monitor people, they watch people, they stare at people. They pretend to be a normal person on their phone or talking or acting like whatever. But they're actually evil and they know what they're doing. Their demon told them to watch that person. They don't know you, right? But they still know, right? Their evil mind, that evil part of them, the demon in them, some of them know it's the demon. They know the demon is saying to them, hey, you know, that he or she wants to use their body to bother this person. It's usually covert because the goal is just to monitor what you're going to do so then they can sabotage it. It's not really about bothering you directly. That's if maybe they want you to beat this human up and go to jail, you know. But their greatest fear is you having money. Because then you're not going to have the evil humans that they use to be around you, right, and come out of. They're not going to have the ability to be around you, which means that you're not going to be around demons, right? If these evil, filthy humans are not around me, that means even if I'm not delivered, right, by God, and they still have the power to follow me, it means I'm still free from demons for that time. Because they only come out of evil human beings. Just sinful human beings, right? But they're not evil. They're going to treat me with so much love. And that's actually another thing I tell you. You probably have that quality too, where people just naturally love you. I'm someone that when a human sees me who's not evil, they just naturally love me. You know? They just see my energy. They know you're a person of, I don't know what they see, but I'm not someone that has to try to have a friend. I don't need to try to get along with anyone. People just love me. They're just drawn to me. So that's another reason they stalk me. Isolation, you get me? So I don't have such a great community of normal human beings God created, whatever their religion is, who would normally be, right, just your good social circle. I'm not going to obviously mix with the opposite gender, but just, right, you know them, right? You just know each other. They're your neighbors, whatever. You know them through some maybe organization that you work for, like that. You're never going to meet them because they're going to make sure they take what you need, right? Housing, a job, a business, money. They're going to terrorize you and physically come to the city. And if there were good people living in your city, they're going to move out because all these crazy homeless, mentally ill, drug addict, criminals, and all these crimes, police are constantly patrolling the city. Then, okay, good people are going to move out who could have been there. And 2 weeks later, maybe we could have been friends. That already happened to me. My apartment had a lot of decent people who were normal people. But then all of a sudden, all these evil families who are like usually Somali, they always use Somali first when I was younger. They started to come to my apartment. They started to live there. It's like I was watching it like a movie or something. I literally see all these families. Oh, there you go. They're families versus adults or singles or couples. Because dysfunctional families, right, these generationally cursed families, they don't have individuality. They don't have any quality that healthy people have. They're not individuals. They always together because of that abuser-victim situation, right, where the abuser is always controlling everyone else who allows themselves to be abused, who they're evil too, but you get me, they're on the sort of lower end of the situation. They're taking the submissive side. So they never ever move away or separate. They try to control each other. They always know how much money you make and they ask you for money, and because they use that money to do bad things in other countries, usually, right, other countries they came from. If they're immigrants, for example, they work for the devil, okay? These types of crazy large families started to move into my apartment all of a sudden in 2019. A very nice, peaceful place, okay? There were some evil humans there, yeah, but they were good people there. There was never any noise. No one ever did crime. It was nice, okay? I enjoyed it. But then, boom, the gangstalking started. Evil families, large families, perverted teenagers, children, their families, their grandmas. They're all mixed together. They never they never separate like humans are supposed to separate. They're all together. Boom, they big cars. They're all over the place because they're just crazy, you know? They like to use their large number to intimidate others too. So they're just always in the parking lot of the apartment. Okay, so you feel scared for your life. You feel like you're in some street where there's gangs or something. You get safe, healthy neighborhoods, right? People don't stand in streets. They don't stand in crowded and come together as a mob, right? Because that looks bad, obviously, right? You're going to have fun. You're going to go into like a place that's meant for that, right? Like a room that's for parties. You're not going to stand in the street and intimidate your neighbors that you're some gang, right? You don't scare people. Like, only evil humans do that. And obviously, they look evil. Good people, if there was a group of them, you wouldn't be intimidated, obviously. You'd see how decent and gentle their energy looks, right? They look dressed really well. Maybe they look like they have some seminar that day, right? Obviously, you can tell. You're not going to be freaked out if there were actually good people there as a group. I'm just saying, you get me? Okay, so my apartment was bombarded by these evil human beings who started to be possessive, be everywhere I go. While before, they pop out every now and then. They come to my job as a customer every now and then. They come to, right? It's just every now and then, and you can at least protect yourself and hang there. But then it's like extreme now. I swear by the name of God Almighty, I have not seen one normal human for the past 7 years. Can you believe that? I only see the most evil, most perverted, most insanely psychopathic, nastiest human beings on the face of the earth. Wherever I go, I've been traveling the United States since 2020. I've been to many states. Only they come to my place. Is that really possible? No, because good people are everywhere. And bad people are everywhere, right? If I go to this store or this hotel, and I don't go to bad places, right? I go to rich, healthy, nice, decent places or hotels or businesses. I don't go to weird, ghetto, weird places, right? I'm sorry for calling it ghetto, but you know what I mean. I don't mean African. I mean, I don't know what to call it. I don't go to bad places, okay? Or slums or whatever. Okay. It's COVID. COVID is a demonic curse or witchcraft or power that demons are using to unleash. I want you to listen very carefully. To unleash the type of human beings that I'm telling you gang stalk me every day, follow me around every day, the most worst of God's creation. I told you they just look covert. They just look like they're standing there minding their business. They're stalking me. They're listening to me. They're watching me. Usually they like to approach me when everyone's gone, okay? Try to touch you sneakily, okay? But, right, these horrible human beings, right, are similar to that evil family I disowned. That God put me into, right, break their curse. So that it doesn't continue, right, in another bloodline. The COVID just means that only those human beings are now coming outside to terrorize the actual United States and the world. It's just them. All the decent, normal humans are still in their homes. Even if they have no jobs and they're not paying rent, they're not being evicted, right? A lot of them are just enjoying and chilling. Such as I was, right? I still paid my rent, but, you know, I wasn't having a job, right? The government supporting people. So good people are going to their jobs. Decent humans, right, are going to their jobs. They're meeting their friends or families, and then they're going home, right? They're going to maybe a restaurant, fine. Wherever they go, are they going to hang around there for hours? No, just 5-10 minutes to eat and go, right? So I'm not going to really see them in the street. I'm not going to see them at a store. I'm not going to see them anywhere because they're all closed. But who are these humans every day who are then coming outside? The most harmful creation of God Almighty. The most perverted, narcissistic, psychopathic, cursed, possessed, evil human beings on the face of the earth. It's just them who are outside every day. So then it's easy for demons to stalk me. Do you get it? And I don't get to see normal humans. Unlike before 2019, well, the United States obviously is just a country. There's good and bad humans. I saw good people before. I saw decent people before. You know, it was harder. It was very hard to maybe see them on this large scale. But, okay, I was around them. It's just I didn't try to necessarily be their friend or whatever, right? But you get me. I still could see them and feel peace. And the weirdos were so obvious. They approach me, they're a pervert, they're trying to touch you, they saying something sexist to me, they're trying to cuss you out. It's so obvious to know that this one is evil and that one is good. Because you could simply watch this large crowd at a mall where I am, right? You could observe the humans are distinct. So COVID is a demonic attack on the entire human race. The devil is preparing the world for horrible things only God knows. These humans who today are being called Karens are these humans, I'm telling you, gangstalk me every day. Okay? They're just possessed. All they do is do the devil's dirty work. They just come outside every day. They're the ones, their money is being used to technically keep the economy going. When the normal humans are keeping their money, cooking at home, and not wasting their money anymore. These lunatics go outside and support whatever company they want to support. They're working for the devil. Maybe the good companies are going bankrupt because no one is going to buy anything from them. Good people are keeping their money. Decent humans are not going outside unless they need to do something important. These weirdos are not going to go to that company because a lot of people are just under attack now. You're a good person. You're also at some point going to be attacked by what demons are doing through COVID. They're trying to hurt everybody now. It's not just people like me anymore. These humans who would approach me, harass me, and seek a reaction, hoping to then accuse me of being a criminal or a bad person to get me fired, to get me evicted. There you go, homeless, unemployed, and to put you in jail or accuse you of mental illness because they're mentally ill and they're perverted and they're criminal and they're harassing someone, right? They're bad. They're jealous. They're weirdo. They're narcissistic. They want to accuse me of their qualities. Now they're just called Karens on YouTube. So, you're not going to be like, I don't know who you're talking about. Who are you describing? You can see it today. They're called Karens. To me, they're just these demons who terrorized me all these years. I only see humans like that. Do you see? I'm trying to give you a description of what they look like. Those humans are called Karens, right? They obviously pretend to be covert and look normal. Majority of the time, they're around me. Otherwise, people would notice something's wrong with these cities, right? But it's them who are around me all day. I don't get to see normal people. Never. Do you know how traumatizing that is? It's COVID that's doing that to me. So I have to, pick a location, a neighborhood, a city, an employer where I can find those good people. Then I'll be fine. You get me? But there's so much demonic resistance to that place. I can't go there as much easily. You get me? So God is constantly showing me, yes, He can deliver me. Yes, He does deliver you. I literally struggled with faith of how that's going to happen. Because it's because of COVID, it seems like they have so much power. It seems like good people died or something. And I'm some apocalypse or whatever. I swear to God, if COVID stopped and every normal human on the face of the earth, good people, moral people, came outside, I wouldn't even know I'm being gang-stalked. I wouldn't know possessed humans are bothering me and stalking me and watching me in a covert way and in a direct way. I wouldn't know because there's good people around me to cloud their energy. Those good people would be my friend. We'd get along, right? I forget you. You're evil one. I'm not going to notice you. Right? I don't notice evil humans, right? I don't notice them. They're obsessed with us. But how can I not notice you if you're the only one there? Right? There's no good person. There's no normal human like me. So it's really COVID that's making it easy for gang stalking to happen. And I sometimes believe, I don't even think it happened before in human history. I think it's now that it started. And whatever people might say online who make it seem like they were gang stalked before 2019, that was like the sort of lower level of gang stalking. You get me? The first level I told you I already experienced. They come to your job and harass you. They try to accuse you. You get fired. You know? That sort of Karen that it comes to the employee, bothers the employee says something, boom, they report you to your manager, they put the phone in your face. That's what they did to me, right? And then you get fired because these non-Muslim organizations, obviously Muslims can be evil, but I'm talking about in terms of non-Muslim, it's really a quality where they don't believe in this. Usually they struggle with it. They believe in allowing evil conduct to be okay as long as there's a customer. They don't believe in doing the right thing. Because there's no religion or morality or God being used to build an organization. You agree? Humans just make their own rules, and those humans are usually greedy and evil and narcissistic. So they're just gonna abuse the employee, which is dumb, right? Employees make your company. You need them. Why not support them? It protects your company from lawsuits and problems and crime. If you allow them to stand up for themselves and do the right thing, and they're allowed to create a safe environment, correct? It's because they're evil. They don't want you to do the right thing. It's not because they're scared of customers retaliating against them. Hell no, we're human beings. Humans behave just like children. You can teach them to behave when they're adults. If you make rules and laws at your company, customers are going to behave because they want the service. They're not going to leave you because they need the service. They need to eat. They need to buy something. So you actually are the one who's in control when you're the supplier of some sort of service to people, right? The consumer is not in the control. But they need something from you. So they might have options, right? And maybe go to another company, fine. But there's still other humans who everyone can't go to them, right? Because the human race is very large. You're going to still have other consumers come to you. So only evil humans are saying the customer is always right, which is not, get it? It's not logical. Is a human always right? Okay, what the hell you mean a customer is always right? Aren't there evil and good humans in the world? So how is someone always right just because they come with the money to buy something? Aren't there evil humans? Aren't there shayateen? Aren't there shayateen devils? Aren't there criminals? Aren't there, right? What the hell? There's good and evil in the world. So why are you calling anyone who enters your door, which is going to include the good and the evil, why are you calling all of them good, basically, by saying they're always right? As if they're always the victim. If some conflict happens, aren't they one time... You see what's going on? So only evil humans could do this to people. They tell you they're not going to support you, obviously, if you do the right thing or stand up for you. Only an evil human hates that. So that means, right, these non-Muslim countries, because Muslims are not going to punish you for doing the right thing, you know? Except Raya does. Just companies where evil Muslims are doing that. But it's not a rule. It's not a mentality for people who are Muslim, you get me? It's not their sort of culture. They consider that a sin if you harass people, okay? So it means the human race, right? Those usually who have companies are 90-something very evil then, correct? If they're all creating this rule that the victim always gets retaliated against. HR comes after you when you're the employee. The abuser always is protected. They're given with, okay, the devil is doing something then. Some curse, some power, some magic. So obviously always put evil humans in those places, in those companies. He helps them start their businesses. And he sabotages people of God like me from starting their businesses. So I don't get to hire you and build many corporations. And now you don't have to worry about defending yourself. You being retaliated. You get me? This is how demons run our world. So God made them persecute me to teach me how they do it. Not just the basics, right, that I taught you. You probably know, right? Demons, right? Put bad humans in power. Right? You probably know that. But how do they do it? Why do they do it? Who's doing it? How do you even know which one is bad? Because you don't just look at a human and know they're evil, right? Technically, you don't know that. I know how to know. I can tell if a human is good or evil. And I can teach you. So I'm learning a lot, and not just the basics. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you the basics. Because I'm not trying to go beyond that for now. So you break these curses off of yourself, whether you have this type of family background and abuse that I suffered all my life from strangers and sabotage and difficulty in life. It means there's a generational curse going on. You have to believe there's something out there that's attacking you that's not human. Okay, you have to believe demons exist. You have to believe God also exists. You have to believe spiritual powers exist, because demons can't just come to you and do what they want to your life. They need to use a power like witchcraft. Okay, and God gave us power to defeat it. So one thing God did, right, to prove to me that he already showed me signs he does deliver people from this, even though it seems like you won't be delivered because they just have so much control over my life. I prayed for years and they're still sitting there laughing and smirking at me, coming to the same places every day, looking at me, bothering me. Right? You can obviously lose your mind. And sometimes they attack me more when I'm praying, right? You just get so even mad. God reminded me that he obviously had been teaching me, right, about these types of powers and these types of demons, even though Islam doesn't teach me he pushed me to the parts of the Bible, obviously still God's book, it's just corrupted. You don't take the evil, the lies, which is the majority of it. So it doesn't mean, that a Muslim took Christianity's religion. No, it's God's religion that the devil corrupted and it turns into Christianity. So the Bible, Muslims are supposed to use it. You get me? They're just not supposed to use the falsehood. The devil hates that, because then, one day people will figure out what's going on, right? The pattern. So he pushed Christians from ever looking at the Quran, and he pushed Muslims from ever looking at the Bible. So these two groups were supposed to be under one religion, which is the correct Islam, not the current one that's corrupted. So they never figure that out, okay? He obviously puts fear into Muslims that they're somehow committing a sin if they look at scriptures, okay, that are not the Quran. But they already believe this book used to be God's book, it's just corrupted. So why is it wrong to look at it? You see? It's wrong to believe in the lies in it, such as God being accused of being a human like Jesus. So, and this is how they accused Jesus of being a God. Demons use these types of powers the way they persecute me, but you guys don't know what the hell I'm going through because it's covert. They're invisible. They ruin my life through situations and rejections and harassment and accusations they create for me. Just as they accuse me when I'm alive, they can accuse you when you're dead, right? So they accuse prophets when they're dead, that they were actually a god or a son, okay? I can teach you and prove to you how they did it to prophets by showing you how they did it to me. You guys, I promise you're going to believe it when you listen to my testimony. It's not hard. Anyways, I'm going to end this right now. So God, right, proved to me that, yes, he does believe in delivering me, and he's been trying to help me get delivered. I've just been pushed away from doing the prayer very strongly, right? I do it, but then I get retaliated against. I remember when I first started doing these prayers against familiar spirits, which means they're familiar with you. Demons, they're ancient. They came from the family, like familiar family, Instantly, I had demons trying to put me in jail, and I got accused of a crime, and I went into jail for a crime I didn't commit. You get me? I got attacked demonically because they're like, oh no, she's praying. She's going to get us out of her life. Let's go after her. That night, right, the day that I was accused of a crime and put in jail, that day before it, right, the night before it, demons were possessing these cockroaches and coming up to me. It's a normal mall. It's a clean place, okay? It's actually a restaurant. When everyone left, all these cockroaches keep coming to me. Other people come sit over there, but the cockroaches don't move around. It's just me. So God was teaching me they can possess pests as well. Okay, and this power also uses pests against you if you're being gangstalked. They use pests too. They come to your home as a way to even evict you, Make it seem like it's your fault. But usually they don't just come to your home. God doesn't really give them that high level power, right, to make it easier to accuse you. It's other humans, right, the ones who are evil, who are possessed to harass you. That's the ones they bring their pest into their home. They do things to cause it. It spreads to your home. So that demons now can monitor you, right, watch what you're up to using pests. You're never going to know they're in your house, that demons are watching you. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I've been talking so long, I need to stop. Okay, so woo. Okay, it's almost nighttime. It's almost time for me to break my fast, because it's Ramadan still. Goodness, it's actually 8 p.m. now, so which is time you break it. Okay, so goodness, I'm gonna die because obviously I was thirsty all day. I'm talking so long, it's hurting my throat. I'm not really thirsty. It's more like the throat just got dry. Okay, because I can live without food and water for a long time. That's another blessing I have that then makes it easy for me when demons would have starved me a lot, stealing everything from me as a kid or adult. Okay, anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, those cockroaches, right? Now they can watch you like that too. So pay attention to that. Don't ever let pests be in your home or animals because they're possessed to watch you. Just rebuke them if you obviously love a pet and stuff. Pet is different, right? Pet is not the same, right? I'll teach you how to deal with that situation if your pet is possessed. But you just need to pray to God against the evil in them and rebuke their demon. And at some point, right, it might be the right thing to do to just get rid of them, okay? Just not have them in that moment and take them to a shelter. You get me? Like, I right now would not get a pet. I'm going to make sure the pet I get is not possessed, okay? I don't call them a pet though. I just call them an animal because pet seems like something you own, right? Like object. I hate that word. So people of God will never call an animal pet because you just look at the word pet. It just seems like something you own. We don't own you, okay? Only God owns his creation. We don't own each other, and we don't own anything else. We don't own ourselves either. There you go. So anything that's trying to act dominant over you, right? A spouse, governments, law enforcement, parents, just know that's evil, okay? That's demonic spirits possessing whoever's trying to act dominant over you because they're trying to take God's place. They're trying to mock God. That's a huge sin against God. And they're trying to make you believe God believes in that nonsense, as if he created these institutions of authority. No, humans did it who are evil. Righteous people come to help you. They create good governments and laws. But they don't ever act like an authority over you. You know what I mean? They act like they're just doing the right thing. You get me? They don't act like they have authority. You get me? Authority belongs to God. So don't ever let abusers of your past, family, I don't care who or what they are, good or evil, don't ever act, right, submissive to anyone God created or anything God created. Don't ever let anyone act dominant over you. That's you committing a sin against yourself and against God. You're giving them power over you. Okay? Don't give them power. I mean, you're really committing that sin against God when you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you're treating them like a God. But when the person has chosen to be a coward and fearful of God's creation, that's someone we would not say they're sinning, right? Because they're not thinking that's a sin. I'm sorry, they're not treating this human like a God. You get me? They're just choosing to be afraid of them. Okay, so that's just someone we're saying don't give them that power over you. I have to be careful with that. Sorry. You're sinning against God when you're actually saying this person, right, is like a God to you. You get me? You're treating them like a God, etc. Or you're worshiping them, okay? But other than that, it would be you just dishonoring yourself, right? You were just hurting yourself. You don't necessarily think it's something, right, that could fall under sin too if you knew what you're doing from a place of worship, right? If you didn't reach that level yet. Okay, so I'm going in different directions. My back hurts. Okay, I need to stop recording. I'm getting tired. So what was I talking about? I don't want to stop the recording and think about what I was thinking. I just want to finish this quickly. So yeah, goodness, those cockroaches. I learned, right, certain verses or chapters of the Quran that are authentic that I would use to tell them to die and leave the demons in them. And the cockroach would actually die. I don't hit it. I don't attack. I don't do nothing, okay? I just command the demon in them to leave, which is another way I can prove to you that someone is possessed or a demon or pest is possessed. You're never going to be like, you can't prove it to me. Ha, ha, ha. I can prove it to you. I know how to talk to the demon, and the demon comes out of the human or the animal or the pest. They act different. You get me? They don't act like whatever you think it was, a human animal. And sometimes they talk to you. They actually say, right? Like if it's a human, demon says things to you that you know you get me? That is a demon and not that human. And also it obeys what you do. God also taught me that you can command humans. So you can even command a human, not just demons, which is a very powerful knowledge. You can command human beings and animals in the name of God Almighty. It's not just demonic spirits, which all religious humans think is the only ones that you can command. Like I command that demon to leave my house now in the name of God Almighty, right? Those demons tormenting your home. Like sometimes there's noises and there's no one there, right? That's demonic attack, right? They're using noise, which they did to my hotels that I used to go to and home. There's just noise, but there's no one there. All right, wall just cracks all day like that. The same way, right, you commanded that demon and, right, harassment or problem stopped, right, in your life. You can command the human. I command you in the name of God Almighty to leave me now, like that. I command you to do whatever you need them to do to protect yourself from their evil. And you say in the name of God Almighty. So you're not the one really commanding them. I'm sorry, you're not the one commanding them. God is, right, commanding them. You're using God's authority, God's name to command them. And they have to obey God, not you. So, right, because you're a creation too. This obviously doesn't work on good people and people minding their business. That's weird. Then you're right. You're given power. Then that's not normal for you to command a creation. You're a creation too, and they obey what you say. That's creepy, right? So no, you can't use it in an evil way. Don't be scared, okay? You can only use it when you're the victim, and humans who are evil are trying to bother you. You can command them to leave you in God's name, like that. So it only works in that self-defense. Therefore, it's okay. It's not gonna hurt people who, right? You would say, right, any evil human would also try to use this prayer to then command good people, right, normal people. No, they don't get to use it right, on humans who are not trying to do evil to you, and they don't get to use it on humans who are good. You get me? We have authority over evil, whether you're human or demon. We have authority over you as long as you're the evil one. You can't have authority over us if we're not evil. You get me? You can't have authority over, right? For example, an evil human just minding their business, taking, trash out. You're not gonna just command them and just obey. That's creepy. That's like God, right? It's only when they're putting your life in danger, they're harassing you, they're bothering you, right? You're scared for your life. That's when the command would help you, and that you would say is good, right? Power to have. So you don't have to always put yourself in a situation, you get me, of actually physically fighting with human beings, you get me, who are criminal. You can actually command their demon and the human to leave you in the name of God Almighty. Prayer is powerful. Spiritual is powerful. And they're possessed anyway, evil humans, whatever evil they do. So you're not going to be like, well, why would it affect them? It affects, right? It affects them because they're possessed by demons. So when you command the demon to leave, the human also has to leave, who had that knife towards you. You get me? Who had that gun. You don't have to fight with them always, okay? There are times maybe God still will make sure you still have to deal with the situation, right? On a physical level, right? You still have to do something as a physical creation, but, right, if God allows it, right, which is always going to be the case, you just might have to maybe put some effort, who knows, every now and then. They'll obey. They'll leave you, okay? So, what was I trying to say? So, yeah, that cockroach, it died as I commanded the demon to leave me because it kept coming towards me. I even, put my feet up, on, the sort of place that I was sitting, and my feet weren't ever on the ground anymore. I had my shoes on. And then the cockroach gets attacked. You get me by my prayer, me rebuking it. Me, commanding it to leave me and die and stuff. Not the cockroach, right? The demon in it. And the demon sort of it attacks the cockroach. I don't know how to explain. You know what I mean? It attacks itself. So it might flip, it might run, it might, right? Possess humans when you're trying to get demons out of them. Their demon acts violent, goes crazy. That's why people have to hold them so they don't hurt the human. This is different. You know what I mean? It's okay if God allows a pest to die. You get me? Because they're pests and they're usually a threat to us, and it's not weird that they die. It doesn't mean God is evil to them. You get me? Like some innocent person die. It's different, right? They're predators to us, technically, pests and animals. It's okay if they die, right? When they're trying to attack us. It's not like a human who's not trying to attack you dying. You get me? So... You get me? It's not a normal pest, obviously. It's the one that's trying to attack me, okay? So, just the prayer attacked it, and it died. It just fell. And it's possible it didn't die, but maybe it had that quality. But many pests they lay there, and they look dead, but then they wake up the next day. It's so creepy. I see them a lot in bathrooms. Because the demons come to my public places, right? Any public place that you say is a business that people go to, like a mall. Very clean and nice. Then all of a sudden the bathrooms, especially the bathrooms versus other places, they just make it dirty. Those evil females just come and make it dirty. They take all the tissues out. I don't care because I use water to wash myself as a Muslim, and I carry my own tissues, and they're useless. They're dumb as hell. They're dealing with a Muslim. You can't affect me with that. So we don't use tissues. That's not clean enough. We use water also, okay? First we use water, then we use tissue. You get me? It's even better because then you're drying yourself with the tissue. You're washing yourself like a shower. You get me? You're washing your private parts like that, which I also advise you to do because that's something God taught us, and you should learn it. It doesn't mean you're entered Islam if you don't like this religion. It's just a good thing to do, correct? Cleaning yourself more. Okay, so... Right? That's how I would know, right? Demons are attacking places like that. They bring cockroaches to places like that, and the place becomes more dirty and more crazy, and so that's things. Well, that's when God's teaching me what demons do. They're the ones in charge of nasty, dirty places. They like dirty things and feces and urine, and they like that. Okay, I know it's confusing sometimes. You're thinking, oh, I understand they're evil, but Sometimes you think it's too much, right? Like, what the hell? Where's their limit? You know what I mean? I don't think they have a limit. They love blood. They can probably eat, you know, flesh. You know what I mean, of a human, and that's how sometimes you hear humans eating human flesh. You get me? Like, that's possessed humans. Okay, so this world is not gonna make sense to you unless you learn the spiritual stuff. That I hope as you listen to me, you're starting to, right, grow up, grow more in your wisdom, and you're like, man, all the things you're talking about, I can connect it to all the things in the world that are happening. That you give examples, right? Even though I speak in a right simple way, I don't give extreme details, right? I hope you're still getting the knowledge. You get me, the wisdom. You can connect it to life and see that this world is all spiritual and everything's being impacted by demons, as well as God. God's power, His goodness. So yeah, that day, right, that I was defeating the demons in pests and dangerous criminal drunk lunatics coming to that mall and just trying to bother me. I was just defeating them, they're all running away from me and dying, the pest, for example, and the humans were just leaving me. Boom, the next day I get accused of crime, I go to jail. You get me? So strong demonic retaliation, that's what I mean when I say if you pray, be careful. Because they're going to try to put your life in a bad situation using human beings. You get me? Because demons don't have a body. You might be like, how are they going to retaliate against me? Bad people will come to you and try to put you in a bad situation, okay? They might even try to cause you death, okay? There are people that demons cannot kill, okay? God doesn't give them that power. But the average human, you can agree, they can get a murderer, right, and kill you, okay? So you have to pray against premature death. Because we're all going to die, right? Okay, but premature, the time God didn't intend is when crime got you to die. You get me? Disease they cause you got you to die. Because if God gave you a disease, you're not going to die if He didn't want you to die, correct? God killing us is not the problem. We're talking about demons causing your death, using disease, using sin, using others killing you, crime, right? Sin. So we call it premature. It's not the time you were supposed to leave. They're stealing your life from you, okay? Right? Harmful things. Pray for yourself, right? That God, obviously, right? For many of you, protects you from rape, molestation, abduction, evil. Pray against all evil, okay? So yeah, I'm going to upload prayers where I teach you how to break these curses. And it doesn't even matter if you came from the family that I'm describing, the type of demons that follow me through them, right? They're ancient demons. Even if you're someone who just has these problems, but maybe your family is good, right? But then some of them have addiction. You get me? Like, it doesn't matter. As long as you have these qualities where you struggle with addictions or evil character coming upon you, or obviously, I don't like you, I'm not going to treat you like a good person. But I'm still trying to help you because God told me to do it. You have, right, financial problems. You have repeating patterns of just difficulties, right? There's a problem in your life. You're not free, right? This is going to help you. Other people who are free, right, but the devil just is allowed to attack them every now and then, right? Their life is not under huge curse control, but obviously the devil still attacks them too. They just need to pray just normally for protection. You get me? They're different. You and I have to actually break curses. You get me? Because it follows us very strongly and ruins our life, okay? So you break curses, that's how you become free, and you break the curse, and you stop the cycle in your life, and you stop these families, right, from following you. They just leave you alone because their demons are obsessed with you. And cut them off and disown them if you have evil family like this or similar. God wants you to cut them off, okay? You can pray for humans to repent or whatever, but don't love them and be obsessed. That's creepy, okay? And who you forgive is your choice. God does not force you to forgive anyone, okay? That's how you know Islam is correct, but there's areas where it's corrupted. Christianity forces you to forgive rapists and murderers, anyone. It's just insanity. It's so filthy. You're not supposed to forgive humans like that. That's nasty. They're transgressors. They're high-level evil. Evil has to have a limit, right? We all have to have a limit where we're like, no, right, to forgiveness, because it has to have a limit. Because evil goes up and up and up, right? What the hell? Forgiveness is really for small things, So, and you have free will. God is not going to let Islam spread that right now is a threat to Muslims who might even leave the religion, So He's actually protecting Muslims and non-Muslims by not making the Islam that's corrupted, right, be sort of like dominant. And these Muslims have empires. They destroy others. They kill innocent Muslims every day, okay? So don't think Muslims are a group and they're a threat to non-Muslims. No, Muslims are a threat to good Muslims, okay? The evil ones are a threat to the the evil hypocrite ones are a threat to good ones, okay? Like me. And I'm not saying I'm trying to tell you I'm good, right, to be arrogant, but the ones who don't agree and follow evil, they're a threat to the good Muslims. You get me? They're gonna try to terrorize them and kill them and tell them to obey perversions. You get me? All of us are victims to evil human beings, the things they do to this world, directly or indirectly. So only evil humans accept evil, regardless of where they're getting it from. It doesn't justify it if it's a scripture, okay? It doesn't mean they're good. And the devil tricked them or said, no, if evil is evil, I don't care what your reason is. If you think God actually said that, I don't care. You can't do the evil conduct, agree with it, unless you're evil first. Well, you could think God is evil. That doesn't mean that you did anything wrong, because someone actually told you he's like that, correct? What did you do wrong? Nothing. But if you're actually evil, you actually agree with it, you actually do that to others, you restrict people's rights, like women's right to abortion, using a book that's corrupted like the Bible, then you're evil as hell. You have no right to tell a woman what to do with her body. The only humans you're supposed to stop from using their body to do something is using it to harm others. Okay? It's insanity. So, anyways, God showed me that he can deliver me by showing me that he's been teaching me these prayers for a reason. I was just getting attacked, right? I went to jail when I started praying very well in 2021. He's reminding me that he was ready to help me. He's going to help me. He's going to deliver me. He delayed me because I'm also going through other sort of, right, persecutions that teach me other things, right? Because this is bloodline curses. Other humans could go through it. But I'm going through something else that humans don't go through, but only prophets and messengers went through. You get me? But even that, I'm not going through all of it. You get me? Because God is not trying to give me their life, obviously. He's just putting me through some of it so I can see then what the devil did, So I'm going through many sort of programs. It's not just these two. And so that's why I told her I'm delayed, you get me, from being delivered, because I have a lot to learn. And I'm not just being put in a position to, right, sort of be put in a position where I'm being asked to break a curse. You get me? So yeah, God teaching me how to pray is the evidence he wants to deliver me. You get me? Because he's teaching me what to do to be free from this curse. And I'm teaching others to be free. Therefore, if you're looking for help, you got it. If you're like, well, you don't really have a lot of followers on your podcast, how is he helping those people? They're finding it from others. You get me? They're finding it like from the parts of the Bible that are still good in terms of the way they teach you to pray against curses and generational. You get me? Even though they're calling on Jesus, they're still, right? They still know what's going on here. There's a curse going on like that. God is helping everyone in different ways. Even if they don't know who he is, he still accepts their prayers. You get me? He's so loving. Even though you're calling on Jesus, he still accepts your prayer. It doesn't mean he's okay with you calling on Jesus. It's just that if he didn't accept prayer, unless they said his direct name, right, Allah, or exactly who he is, exactly, the majority of the human race will get no help. Do you agree? So as long as they say, God help me, right, he helps them. He's so loving. And many times they don't obviously say God, right? They just want help, and he helps them. You get me? I see evil humans every day going to nonprofits, churches, other places, getting food, clothing. They're being helped so much. Even though they're evil as hell, you get me? God is still feeding them, taking care of them. He could just abandon them. Do you agree? He can do things to them where they're denied food every day, right? Angels come down and beat them up. You get me? No. So he's very merciful. He doesn't mean he's weak. He's waiting for them to repent. You get me? Because there's no second chance. Once they die, it's over. You get me? It's done. Khalas, as we say, which is finale in Arabic and Somali. Khalas. Okay, so take care of yourself. I'm going to upload these prayers. If you're like, I've been through the things you're talking about, you know what I mean? Obviously, you just might be the other group that's also evil and perverted to some degree. You're not the group I was talking about that gets persecuted like me because we're moral, right? You might have actually become evil to some degree and you're different and you have addictions. And okay, I get it. But still, right, you're being followed by these same demons. It's just that because you're on the evil side too, to some degree, or fully maybe, it doesn't seem like you're being persecuted too. You get me? It doesn't seem like there's curses following you because you actually join them. Those who don't join can feel like they're being persecuted. Do you agree? Because they're going to see themselves separately from the enemy. You joined your enemy. So you know he's evil. You know the humans you mix with, you live with, you stay with. You know they're evil and they don't care about you. They're horrible humans. They could never take care of you. You know you're scared for your life. You'd never trust them with your life. Okay, but you joined them, right? You technically gave them that sort of trust. Okay, to some degree. So you just may not fear their evil as much. attacking you because you join them. You get me? So you may not think you're being persecuted. You might think you're surrounded by just unreligious, unmoral people. You just might think that's just your environment. Well, no, you're being followed. You should be seeing good people every now and then, moral people every now and then. Someone should sit with you and chat with you about God every now and then. You get me? You're always seeing the same weirdos. Are you being stalked too? Because why the hell is around you? Okay, this is a big country. So take care of yourself and listen to the next episodes. Where this is so long that I'll try to obviously help you. Just know that you also cursed through generational curses, and you need to be free as well. And choose morality, choose love, and say no to envy and hatred, and pray to God to reveal to you His true identity, which God He is, His name, His true religion, which parts of it are correct and which parts of it are false. I only want to give you a little wisdom, but I'm not telling you, right, what to do and to convert to Islam. That's God who can guide you, okay, and He will, I promise you. Ask for directions on what to do with your life, who you should marry, who your friends should be, what state you should live in, what country you should go to. When you're confused in situations, when you're being harassed by human beings, which means you're being attacked by demons, what you should do, right? Maybe they cornered you, maybe someone's acting threatening. Ask God, where should I go? Should I sit here? Ask 24/7 everything you need from Him. Ask Him situations, answers, solutions, help, food, money, jobs, wealth, business, friendship, marriage, whatever you want. Ask Him for the answer. Ask Him for who and what it should be. Ask Him for what to do. Ask Him for how to accomplish it. Ask him how to learn to defeat demons. If you're possessed, ask Him, how do I get them out of me? What do I do? How to fight with them? You have dreams, intrusive thoughts. You see filthy images and nasty nightmares about humans being raped, or something that looks like you being raped, or you raping others like that. They show you those. That's not you. That's demons taking magic or witchcraft to look like your body and others' bodies and acting like they're doing that evil as if it's real, okay? They want you to agree with it and become evil. And if you're a moral person, they want to disturb you. But they can't do that to you all the time. If you're moral, they just might do it once to terrorize you. And that requires huge witchcraft. They can't just do it to regular people. So, because they don't have huge, curses or witchcraft over regular people. You get me? This requires strange situations like my situation, where you're just born to strange families like this to really be followed by these huge curses. And humans who usually are not necessarily evil, who come from these families, exactly, they get into bad relationships, abusive relationships, and then they leave it, right? Maybe one day they find a good person like that. But the smart ones, right? The demons cannot trick. They can't get you to be sexual with an evil human, right? Date them, marry them, etc. They're gonna get so obsessed with you, they're gonna follow you even more. There's just no way to trap you. You're just so connected to God. Even if a lot of these human beings, right, that I'm saying go through what I'm going through, are Christian or Jew, right? Even if they're different religions and they're worshiping false gods, still, right? They're still close to that sort of idea, right? That they're still worshiping a God and they're still connected to, right? These three faiths, which still kind of connect God to one, right? They think He's one, even though Christianity ruins it. I don't know why they're part of the group, right? Because they think He's three. Okay, so take care of yourself.